probably shit's gonna go wrong.
You never know.
Yeah, that's all. Are we actually live? We're apparently starting, so it's good. And we're live. Sound. So let's just tweet this shit out.
Hello, followers, and welcome to Backseat Friends.
Boom. Welcome
There
to
we go.
Backseat Friends.
Nice.
You say followers like we actually have followers. This is fun. Okay, so for some reason it's not updated the title of it. It's still saying episode 8. So I'm just gonna delete that tweet and try again. Experiencing technical difficulties. For some reason, do I have to I mean, it should be saved. It should be coming up as episode 9.
In theory.
Okay.
It's saying episode 9 on it. Oh, we got 2 watches.
Oh, do it? It'd be you and me.
Probably, but you know.
The advantage of having a shit following, you're allowed to have technical difficulties at the start.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice.
I know, right? It's great. Right, okay, so it's still coming up as fucking episode 8. Oh well, fuck it. People will get redirected. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so this week's Todd Howard is interesting because this isn't one Ryan's picked out this week. This is one that I just grabbed from Wikipedia. It's like a censor bar across his face. You know, because meme tax, obviously.
Yeah, meme tax.
This isn't a meme, right? We are avoiding. You know. Oh shit! I've just realised to post a link to my Twitter.
Oh no.
Shit! I'm gonna have to pay for that. Should we start on with the EU's copyright law? We're kind of talking about it now, so let's start up on that one.
It's a big topic, really.
It is kind of the big topic, and it's kind of sad that it's the big topic, especially considering all the effort people went to try and push it back. But yes, so for those of you who don't know, and the EU is going definitely the degenerate corner this week. Sorry, not the degenerate corner, because that would be quite close to a meme. The Todd Howard looking at you corner.
No, mate. You can still do memes if you're deep driving.
Oh, right, so what you want me to do is just I don't have Adobe. I don't have any Adobe programs except for Fuse, so I can't deep fry my memes.
No, mate, you've got Tumblr. That's one that's got all the filters in it. Or Instagram. That's the one.
Yeah, but no, it's not Instagram filters. It's specifically Adobe Photoshop filters.
No,
Fine,
mate.
just get one of the little Photoshop codes you can get online.
Do your own form of deep frying by putting every filter, putting every Insta filter on. And then, everyone can call you a 12-year-old for deep frying the meme.
I know, but I'm not deep frying a meme because I'm not 12-year-old Ryan. Even still, that would be a meme. So, yeah. So, for those of you who don't know what's happened this week with the whole EU and the copyright bullshit, they passed what they're considering a link tax law. Or link tax legislation, or whatever the fuck it is the EU has. Which essentially, a company who has a link posted on them has to pay, I think it's a small amount for that link, or per redirect through that link or whatever, to the original poster of the link. So say if you're on Facebook Messenger and you post a picture through Giphy or whatever, Facebook will have to pay Giphy, or a tax because there's a link on that server.
Yeah.
So, to those of you who think, oh, this is fine, there's no issue here, may I raise to you just how many links we go through a day? Theoretically, me citing the images of this podcast, they're all links to other people. I mean, admittedly, everything we use is in the public domain, but that's not the point. If we didn't use things that are in the public domain, we'd have to pay for it, through the link tax, or whatever the bloody hell. What's it? Article 13, isn't it? Is the actual name of it?
Oh god, yeah.
Or is that Article 11? That's the link tax, and Article 13 is the other one.
It's one of them. I can't remember what the actual name of the legislation is called.
Nor can I. But
But no, articles are just like sections within a bigger thing.
Essentially, user-created content is going to be dead in the EU.
So
Because
Tumblr's gonna be hit.
yeah, shit. How does this make you? How does this make you feel, Wakey?
Oh no.
Are you now wishing you voted to leave? Like that way, it might have happened quicker.
Yeah, I'm sure my vote would have made things move much more smoothly.
See, you're
I
missing
mean,
the whole.
I forget, didn't we basically abstain from the vote anyway, so...
Probably. It
Probably
wouldn't surprise me.
because we're planning to be fucking outsy by the time it actually goes into effect.
But it doesn't matter, because depending on whatever Brexit deal we get, we might still wind up with it just in a sort of slipped under the rug kind of thing.
That being said, doesn't it still need another round of votes to actually go through fully as an actual legislation?
No, this was like the second round.
Oh, was this really the second round?
Yeah, so the first round people abstained because they didn't know what the fuck it was, and they needed a bit more information. Because all they got was like a bunch of people like writing letters to their MEPs saying, "Yo, do you mind just like bombing this with like negative votes, like downvoting it to oblivion?" Because that's how the EU works. It's just Reddit on crack, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. And so they abstained for one round of voting until they could learn more information. People then went back, I say people, the MEPs then went back to Parliament and voted it in. So as far as I'm aware, it doesn't need to go through another round of voting because it's like being considered.
Doesn't it have another vote in the European Parliament in 2019?
That is the European Parliament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have like another round of negotiations and another round of votes, but it's very unlikely it won't get passed. So it won't get rejected.
Possibly.
I mean, they're words. It's probably.
If what Wakey's saying is true, just write to your MEP if you're in Europe. If you're from America, just laugh at us.
Well, no, it'll fuck America too, because either they're going to have to seriously change their website for everyone, or they're going to have to just straight cut Europe out of it. So Americans are still going to see the massive drop in content and revenue.
Which one's going to be cheaper, do you think? Because that's the one they're going to go for.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the thing is, if they cut out Europe, they're losing a bunch of revenue from European viewers.
Because theoretically, Google cannot operate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Google's fucked.
There's no way Google can operate.
Well, what's it? Didn't some European countries have a similar thing with for a while with Google?
In fact, the only thing
But then
Google,
because
the only thing
just
Google will be
allowing them to use the websites that were being affected.
something like that. Apparently, no. What it was is they are promoting their own content in like the App Store and in Google above the content of their their competitors, which is against EU monopolies regulations. And so they now are facing the heaviest fine in EU history. But I mean, they've got chances to appeal, and they probably will appeal it. If they don't, they're kind of stupid. They should pay it because it's kind of shady business practice. But like, they're stupid if they don't appeal it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's somewhere along the lines of like $9 billion or some shit, which is quite a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
But no, all Google is going to be is if this law goes into action. All Google is going to be is ads, because it's going to be people who've paid for their links to Google.
Let's see. I think in 2013, optional for certain websites that could opt into this went through in Germany.
Of course it did.
Google responded by dropping those websites that were asking to get paid the money for having their links shared.
Shit.
And those websites just completely collapsed pretty much because they weren't getting any traffic.
So essentially it's going to be EU versus Google.
Yeah, the theory is that if the entire EU does it, then Google can't just go, no.
Maybe they will.
Which is the issue.
Because it's going to be worth more for them to just drop Europe.
Yeah.
They're still enormous in other countries and in other continents.
That does say a lot about the amount of power that one, company has over the internet right now.
Mm.
Which is part of the reason this is getting put through. The issue is, it's going to inadvertently fuck a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that Google has this much power at the moment. I know it's shit to say, but it is kind of good thing.
Although technically, I think all it does is give publishers the right to ask for these licenses.
Oh, but
It
you
doesn't
know they're
make it
going to.
mandatory. Yeah, but the issue is that we'll end up in the same situation where the publishers that ask for these licenses
They're just
will
gonna get dropped.
by major websites. So they'll sort of just there's a chance.
It's
Article 11
overall
won't
going to
change
decrease
anything.
competition in the
Yeah.
field, which is bad for
Oh.
business.
Yeah. Overall, there's a chance that Article 11 will essentially result in nothing because no company is going to be stupid enough to do it when they know that, like what happened last time, they'll just lose all of their traffic.
Yeah, because they're either going to get dropped from Google or they're going to be so like shunned in the public eye that the public's just going to boycott them anyway.
It's probably going to like the amount of money they'd get from the tax isn't going to be anywhere near as much as the amount they'd get from the traffic that's no longer coming to them because some websites aren't gonna go with that deal.
To be fair though, if it's a company like say Facebook to Twitter,
Yeah,
it might be worth Twitter pursuing it.
yeah. There's only gonna be certain ones that have enough weight to get away with trying to
Yeah.
ask for the payment. Which,
It's going to be the big
Really
ones, which means the
great.
rich are just going to get richer.
yep. There's some alright ideas behind it, but it seems pretty fucking badly executed right now.
And then it definitely needs work done to it because we can't
Yeah.
go on
now,
like
it
this.
Still leaves. Right now, it still doesn't do anything like the amount of power that singular, online entities have. It just serves to just sort of make things a little more awkward for everyone.
But it's been touted as the death of memes, the death of user-created content, and the death of the internet. Which ones do you think are actually pretty apt?
That's the user-generated content. That's also going to get hit badly by the other part of this, 13. I'm not sure if I'm planning to talk about that later or not.
Oh, I've only just sort of like glossed over it enough to sort of see that holy
That-
shit, this is a bad
I
idea.
believe that's the one that user-uploaded subject matter are liable for copyright infringement.
What? So like you're telling me our Todd Howard meme might actually be copyright infringement?
So was it platforms are liable for copyright infringement committed by users?
Oh, that is bad.
Which is really bad because you know the whole thing about the internet being full of online copyright bots, regardless whether they're actually valid or not.
And also people just being general trolls.
Yep. Because it's just gonna be that same issue where
Join Backseat Friends next week when we're on Twitch.
you know how there's that constant issue on YouTube of half the time, honestly, fraudulent copyright claims because they just they see the bots see a piece of a track that is registered in their file.
Yeah.
Regardless of fair use or anything, flag it. Instead of just flagging a video, that's going to flag the entirety of YouTube per instance.
Shit.
So basically, user-generated sites are entirely fucked.
What? Do you know what's happened? The EU has
Copyright.
accidentally created its own firewall from hell.
Yep, upload filters are a terrible idea. They're going to force websites to have to scan every piece of media to a kind of stupid degree, and even then it's not going to work because copyright filters and bots are notoriously bad.
Which means free speech is going to be dead because they're going to over-censor.
Fair use is entirely going to be fucked in the arse, and any form of user-generated content that isn't deep-fried to fucking back.
Is that where the idea of deep fried memes comes from? Because it is just straight up parody.
Deep-fried memes is just lol. It looks funny when we put a bunch of filters on it.
No, it doesn't.
It is. You know, like that thing where Facebook meme pages now have essentially short videos of static images with little triangles floating on them.
Oh god.
I can't say I really watch Facebook meme photos.
No, neither do I. But I heard about this. This was a while back. That's because Facebook is trying to put filters on to stop meme pages and lower their priority. So they kept adding different elements to it to make it harder to discern what it actually is.
Oh, the one I saw was similar. How extreme is Facebook's auto flag system for violence? And it was a picture of a goose on fire, just slowly getting lower and lower res, and eventually more and more cartoony. It turns out Facebook's violence filter is really, really like harsh.
Yeah.
So like, it was still flagging it when it was in like the cartoony section. It wasn't until it was like low res cartoon duck or swan or whatever it was that it eventually let it through. And this was, as far as I'm aware, a picture of a swan that ran in front of a fire. So there was no harm to an animal, from what I know.
Yeah.
But
it's a massive issue because it's not going to differentiate behind context or fair use or any of the rest of it.
Animation's going to be
or
dead,
adapted
because a
world.
lot of animated comedies rely on parody, and
Oh, yeah.
thus through fair use.
Legitimately every form of media online that relies on fair use or context to make potentially copyright infringing things legal is
So,
completely fucked.
if you are a content creator, make sure you
it's
have a
really
legal
bad.
fund the size of Russia. Like the country, not its economy. Like just like stacks and stacks of money the size of Russia.
Honestly, I'd say the upload filter is a hell of a lot more of a problem than the link tax, because that just gives publishers the option to do this thing that they'd never do if they don't want to just kill themselves.
True.
The filter, on the other hand, is going to fucking destroy a good chunk of the internet if it keeps going through as it is.
Which it will do.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone, get installing Tor.
Actually, shit, that's not a bad idea.
Get your VPNs in order.
NordVPN!
Like, anyone needs to sort out how to do one of them.
To be fair. Okay, so what is the actual best VPN we can use?
Don't fucking ask me, man. I've never got around.
Because
to
the only
doing
one I've used is Zen VPN, which was pretty good until it got really expensive.
that. According to randos on YouTube, Nord is good, but I think they're just getting paid to say that.
No, apparently Nord is pretty good. It gets through China's firewall.
Oh damn. Okay.
Whereas TunnelBear doesn't. But no, Zen was pretty good when I used it, and I used the free version of Zen, which limits you to specific countries.
Right.
But like, if you just want to change your IP address within your country, Zen's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is where it's like been taken over by a malware company now. It's just actual malware. But no, it was a Google Plus. Sorry, not Google Plus. A Google Chrome extension that you just ticked on when you needed it on.
Oh right.
So it's pretty good. I think it's like $5.99 a month as well if you want like the premium version.
So I think, by the looks of it, the only real solutions are badger the shit out of every possible political person you can get on contact to vote this down, or or invest in a VPN that lets you not be from Europe.
And honestly, I think we're going to see a lot of people popping up in like Zimbabwe.
Yeah, you know, Zimbabwe.
I think Zimbabwe's internet activity is going to get very, very busy.
You know, the VPN companies are the only people coming out of this with any form of plus, I think.
Oh, I know. But the thing is, that it's in their best interest to not come out of this with a massive plus, because it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Yeah.
Because it's going to mean that there's less content overall, which means there's less reason to go on the internet, which means there's less reason to get a VPN. Although, as it keeps being described, the VPN is like the internet condom. Like, you just need it on at all times. So, I don't know, maybe they might be okay with it.
Need to get it sorted. It just feels like just common sense at this point to
Oh, it is.
cheap one.
So I think the current thing is now, like in computer science and shit, you don't need a virus checker, you need a VPN. Because typically speaking, like Windows Defender's pretty on point. Like Windows Defender Malwarebytes is pretty on point. Occasionally just do like a sort of massive scan or whatever.
Yeah, at this point, the general concern for internet usage isn't viruses or people in Sweden trying
loss
to
of data.
hack a fucking toaster. It's, you know, yeah.
It's loss of data.
Spying on everything you do.
I don't know. I don't use a VPN. I use a VPN if I'm using Opera, but Opera is ridiculously slow. So.
Oh, by the looks of it, while the overall legislation passed with quite a big majority, both Articles 11 and 13 were very close passing in votes.
Okay.
Even still, with like over more than half of them abstaining.
Shit. So you might actually get a second round of voting then.
Yeah. I think there'll be a vote taking place close to the EU elections in May. So.
Okay.
It's a pretty good chance to try and force someone.
We're out by then, aren't we?
On it.
Yeah,
In
probably.
theory, we're out by then, assuming that we actually figure out how we leave.
Oh no! Deadline is deadline. If we don't have a deal, we don't have a deal.
Yep.
Which means economy plummets. Have you seen? Speaking of the economy, have you guys seen the news that was today?
Oh.
With the current economic crisis being worse than the global economic crisis of 2008.
Yay.
I don't know what to think about this. Considering I leave university next year, I have to try and get a job.
Start another degree, it's fine.
Oh, fuck it. It just needs to do really well and you can stay up on and do a PhD.
If you're a PhD.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay and do a PhD. That's all you need. Just stay in academia forever.
To be fair,
That's like the big plan, isn't it?
Then just become a lecturer.
I'm not becoming a lecturer.
See
I
if
get
you can
murdered
go
by
from-
all my old
see-
maths teachers who want me to become a maths
Yeah.
teacher.
See if you can go from this into some sort of teaching additional, and then just stay.
What, like
in
do a
academia
PGC?
forever,
Or PGCE is it good?
and then stay in academics for the rest of your life, and never leave.
I mean, I'd rather not, because I don't
It's the safe option.
really feel like teaching is a good thing. We have a story on that later, by the way, boys and girls.
Ooh, good.
I know, right? These haven't actually heard what it's going to be. All I've told them is riddle.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be quite fun.
I forget, have I brought up the whole asbestos in schools thing on this show before? or was
I think
that
you
when
brought
we
it up
were
last
drinking
week.
the
I
other day?
can't remember. That might have been in person.
Yeah, it might have been when we were drinking. I
See, the
can't
issue
remember.
we've got is our content online varies very little from the content we talk about in real life.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason.
I know the argument about North Korea was IRL. I can't remember if the bit about asbestos was.
Yeah, because that was me and you in the corridor, wasn't it? Like, during the whole...
Corridor? This was like in your living room.
Oh, shit, that one. I thought you meant, like, the one from last year when me and you were, like, walking up the stairs and, like...
We have a lot of discussions about North Korea, apparently.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Also,
Yeah.
Supreme Leader, in case he's listening.
so-
Oh, yeah, all praise to Supreme Leader Kim, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Props to the boy.
Yeah, this one's sponsored by North Korea, North Korea VPN.
Yep.
Actually,
Speaking
look,
of which, though, have you seen North Korea's operating system?
I have not, no.
It's
Funny enough,
basically hacked, what's it called? Macintosh, like MacOS,
Nice.
with like a shitload of spyware on it. It
Oh,
is
those-
so bad that most people use Windows.
Those poor people having to use a Mac OS.
Oh no, it's I think it's called Red Star OS or something.
Oh, look, all I'm saying is it's Mac based. That's so sad.
You realise macOS is quite nice, right?
Look, mate, I don't care
Is
how
it as
nice
nice
it
as
is. I can't
Mackies?
get used to it now.
Since Mackey's kind of kills me, and holy shit, having that ice cream yesterday was a bad idea.
No, that's
Sorry.
your fault.
Come on, let's just get Mac off this time. Like,
You are the person that
doesn't
went,
seem Mackie.
I'm lactose intolerant, but ice cream sounds like a great idea right now.
I got home at
you
least.
haven't even drank anything, man.
Like, I'm pretty sure McDonald's isn't liable for someone who's allergic to one of their products, looking at their product and thinking, yeah, this sounds about right.
It's fine. I can have milk every so
Mate,
often. I just
what
can't have
power,
like it's so much. It's liquid milk specifically. I can eat cheese
Right,
like
so
there's no
eating it before
tomorrow.
it melts, got you.
Like yeah, pretty much. It's like I can eat cheese like no problem. Don't know why, but like when it's liquid milk, I can't. Like butter kind of makes me a bit ill sometimes as well, so I try not to use too much butter. But like that's why I use soy milk, boys. Soy milk. I am total soy boy. That's the new thing, isn't it? In alt right media.
Oh,
Oh, soy boy, mate.
That's total soy boy.
I wish I had the budget to have a soy-based diet specifically so I could be contrarian to a bunch of guys on 4chan.
Oh, I looked at it.
But I'm not willing to
So,
spend that
how
much
much do you
just
spend
to
on meat?
Not much. I buy most of my meat frozen and in bulk.
Right. But the thing is,
mm,
a portion of tofu is 160.
Yeah, but how much is a portion?
1 meal's worth.
Yeah, I can get like a bag of poor quality frozen chicken for that much.
Oh,
It'll
for
last a few
fuck's
days.
sake, that's disgusting. Oh!
Buy frozen meat. That's what...
One day you're coming around to my house and I'm going to teach you how to cook vegetarian food, like, that actually tastes edible, that isn't too
Oh.
expensive.
Oh,
Hey.
please! I come from the part of England where the only thing we know how to do is boil them.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know what good vegetables taste like.
Jeez.
Too white.
See, if you went on Instagram, you could see all my my vegetarian food just by going Kyle Cross and then the hashtag vegetarian. You'll see all my
Wait.
vegetarian stuff.
Tom, how much do you spend a week on food then? On average.
I don't know. I've only been in Lincoln for a week, so I haven't had a chance to
Yeah,
get
but
into
what
a
about
habit of
last
weekly
year?
shopping.
Yeah, how much did you spend last year?
Oh, I didn't keep track. God, I'm nowhere near good enough for my finances.
Because I spend about £10 a week.
Let's say I'm same there.
Yeah, I mean it's
I don't go fully healthy, but
yeah.
Yeah. It's actually
I-
genuinely cheaper to go healthy because we have a fucking
Yeah.
market.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
probably
don't buy
is.
fresh veg because I don't
I
go shopping
can't remember
every
how
2
much I
weeks.
spent on average, but I know that I was mostly buying tinned food, like tinned food and
Ah,
Kyle's like just slowly dying.
I can't say anything because I did the same last year. Like, Tesco value meals were like my thing.
Oh, I've not quite sunk to value meal level, but
To be honest, Tesco value
that's
meal.
cheap rent, so.
No, Tesco value meals. Shepherd's pie is pretty nice.
Oh.
It's
I don't do
very,
shepherd's pie,
very
like,
greasy though.
Ironically, cottage pie is one of the few things I do myself.
Yeah, that's
From scratch.
acceptable. That's fine.
That gets you like 3 days worth of food to stick it in the fridge.
I don't know, I've not actually made a cottage pie yet. I might try and make one with tofu. See what it's like. I
Yeah.
don't know how I'd make it though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work because it's like a good chunk of the substance is the mince and gravy. So
Yeah, but you do also
Maybe
have veg.
kind
To be fair, when I
You
made
can-
the vegetarian pancakes the other day, which were tofu like sort of blended type, like meshed up together like sort of scrambled tofu, sweet corn and oh god, what else? Right? Onion and garlic
yeah.
with
I just-
vegetarian beef stock. Yeah, because that's the thing.
Oh,
It
yeah,
tasted
that-
just
that-
like beef.
Yeah, I'd say that would be your answer then. Like, because I was gonna think you'd have to substitute the gravy for something if you're doing a vegetarian option.
I was
Usually
trying to
it's
think
like
how I
milk
could make
like
it vegan, but I don't like cooking with soy milk. Like, because it's
I'll be honest, tofu
binding
and-
agents are quite difficult to come by if you're vegan. Like, I actually feel sorry for
Yeah.
people who are vegan because the only binding agent really is like xanthan gum and fucking what's it called, bananas. And I'm not even entirely sure that xanthan gum is vegan.
I definitely feel sorry for people that like, especially if they have it for like actual dietary reasons, because there's really only quite limited options, and usually they're not the most.
No, it's
affordable.
not limited. It's just you can't have traditional food. Like vegan food is extremely like eye-opening.
Yeah.
Like, would you think to use chickpeas in like a recipe?
Be honest, not too familiar with chickpeas off word.
They're just
Which
nice.
is
They're
weird.
like high protein peas. They're nice.
Oh.
It's usually falafel.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Um,
I've never really seen those two.
Yeah, so you wouldn't really use them. Would you think to use a lot of lentils and stuff in your food? Beans.
Oh mate, I love to
I mean,
use beans. Beans is a
Beans
meal in
to an
itself,
extent,
right?
No, I mean just like
Yeah.
general beans, not just like butter
Oh,
beans
yeah.
or baked
Oh
beans.
mate, Heinz baked.
Yeah, but I mean like beans in general, like black beans, red beans, fucking butter beans, because that's the only three beans I can think of off the top of my head. Runner beans, obviously, they're the ones that are like friends with Mo Farah. What?
Original humour, guys.
I know, right? But you wouldn't think to cook with them, would you? Like you might cook with chili beans, like
Yeah.
well, they're
really
like
felt-
black
I
beans,
never
yeah.
really thought too much about like more healthy variants of cooking. To be honest, it's always been
Yeah.
one of the things that I just couldn't be bothered to do.
It's like if you're cooking with kidney beans, just be careful, make sure you wash them.
Mm.
But like other than that, they taste really nice. It's like I don't eat like no meat. Like, I still have some sausages in my freezer if I want to use them. And I'll get bacon every so often, just because bacon's just a nice additive. But I don't like base my meals around meat for the most part. Like he says that, and then he's got like loads of like carnivorous foods on his Instagram. Anyway, should we get back on topic?
Yeah, we.
How the
deviated
fuck did we get onto food?
I
I don't know. We somehow went from like copyright laws
To food.
lentils, and fucking.
But you are coming around to my house one day and I'm going to teach you how to cook vegetarian style.
Well, fair enough. Guess I'm learning something.
I
this
mean,
week.
you're rather white,
How to
so
cook
like the
vegetarians or
Oh,
cook-
I'm impressively white.
we found this out the other day when he came around to mine for a curry. One teaspoon of curry powder for a 4-man meal was all it took for him.
Man, I don't have much experience with curry. Okay, it's just not one of the things I've eaten much.
It's fine. Ryan going, oh, you can stick some peas and sweet corn in. It's like it's
No,
like,
I wasn't like you're the one that actually
how the
did it.
fuck do you curry peas and sweet corn effectively?
No, no,
I feel like it was an
Get it.
issue that Ryan thought it was a
Right.
good idea for some reason. You
No,
were too
you
polite to say
suggested
no
it.
to a request, and I didn't know enough
You
about curry to
suggested it in
pick
the
up.
first place, right? Kyle. You
No,
suggest-
I
he
said
read
peas and
through what-
potato.
Yeah, he read through what he had in his cupboard. And you went, oh, that sounds a good idea.
I mean, like, I wasn't even thinking at all, so you
To be
can't
fair,
blame
it tasted
me.
alright to me. I don't know about you guys. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's not alright.
Yeah, it tasted alright.
it wasn't the best curry I've ever made, but that would be the aloo sag that just offends all Indians. Because I put tomatoes in it, because I just like the taste of tomatoes in a curry. I'm sorry. Call me racist all you want. Call me cultural appropriating all you want.
I don't think that's what cultural appropriation is.
I don't know what cultural appropriation is, and I don't think the left does either.
The most coherent explanation of it I heard is essentially, you know those people that do like Native American inspired designs?
Yeah, but I've also been told Chinese takeaway is cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that's people getting
That's
a little bit
not
overzealous
thing is,
in
that's not
wanting to be in
the
the cool
left
club.
Coming up with
and
things,
criticise
that's just
things.
liberals.
That's a mix of liberals and people that are excited about concepts but never got a proper education on what those actually are.
So you're telling me cultural appropriation is an actual issue that is in the world? It's just been...
Look, mate, I'll summarize it, right? Tumblr likes to extort loads of virtues that you should have, but also if you don't know what they are and have to ask, you'll probably get hate messages. So it just ends up with a lot of people saying that something's a good idea without ever really getting around to
Because I like
actually
Halloween
doing it.
costumes either.
What was that?
Halloween costumes either.
Oh yeah, Halloween costumes of racial stereotypes are generally considered pretty shitty.
How is that
Even
shitty?
Moana, like
Because-
Moana's. Going to Halloween as Moana is cultural appropriation.
That's
Okay, by that logic then, I'm calling cultural appropriation on Lin-Manuel Miranda playing Hamilton.
I think the issue is that a lot of the time, cultural appropriation is supposed to be stuff where it's been sort of taken. This cultural concept has been taken without any sort of consent from anyone in that culture. Moana doesn't really count because I'm pretty sure they had a bunch of people from Polynesian culture on hand for design stuff.
I mean, it was just a good film. Can't we just
Yeah.
stop at that?
I think the only Moana thing I've seen get.
Do you know what,
controversy
Money? I'm just gonna
was
get like a
the-
couple pictures of Moana up because fuck it, we haven't been taken down by
I
Disney in a
think
while.
I think there was some controversy
Oh,
on I
man,
think one of the
yeah,
Maui
like-
costumes or something because I think it may have had some pretty strong blackface vibes. But outside of that one instance, I don't think anything else happened with Moana, to my knowledge.
Right. Okay. We've just got a picture of
There
Moana.
was something on 4 News. It was Channel 4 News type thing.
Yeah,
Talking about
that's
cultural
Channel
appropriation.
4 though.
Yeah.
I love how
I
that's Channel
don't-
4
I
is a
don't-
response.
I don't think Channel 4 was receiving direct messages from the head of Antifa, you know?
I don't know. It's Channel 4, mate. You don't know these
Yeah,
things. I
who
mean,
knows,
Channel
man?
4. Okay, for full disclosure, Channel 4 is
Maybe Channel-
pretty even. Like they actually do
Maybe-
seem
maybe
to
Channel
uphold
4
the.
is the CEO of Antifa,
Now that would be next level.
which is my favourite.
Yeah, we
fucking
haven't been
thing.
taken down by Disney in a while, so let's just give them a bit of free advertisement.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I just want to point out here that,
I
like,
can't.
Antifa
I
isn't
don't know. I
an
can't see
organisation.
that being a cultural appropriation issue, but then again, I know jack shit about other cultures, so
I mean, so do I.
yeah.
I just cook them.
I think most of the time the Halloween costume issue is because a lot of the time they're based around stereotypes, like say a costume of
Okay, so you're clearly a person who hasn't been to a Halloween party in like forever. When was the last time you
yeah.
ever saw someone wear like a Native American headdress to like a
See,
Halloween
that's the
party?
thing. Definitely not over here. It's once again, most social media is very Americanized.
The most offensive thing I saw at a Halloween party was a guy dressed up as Jesus.
Yep.
Like that was the
Basically-
closest you get to cultural appropriation. The guy was a lad.
Basically, the issue is a lot of those costumes are based off stereotypes and are considered a bit racist.
Okay, please explain to me how dressing up as a Native American is racist for like Halloween.
Because usually it's playing off the idea of the Native American stereotypes seen in media, which are generally considered a bit dodge.
Not really. The stereotypes right now are we are a proud people. As they should
Once
be.
again, it's a weird one, and I'm probably the least qualified person possible to explain it.
Is there a qualified person to explain it? If there
I don't
is,
know,
please
so-
make yourself known. We'll have you on the show. Because I like learning.
I don't know if someone has a Native American, they can ask their opinion on about Native American Halloween costumes, by all
You say
means.
if someone has a Native American.
Wow. Fucking hell.
Well, this is what I get for removing parts of sentences for the sake of speed.
Look, I just got rid of the legal fees for you and your racism because we kind of got in through the clearing, and I was like, okay, it's not an issue. You telling me I'm gonna have to get it back again?
Yeah,
I'm a liability, mate. You knew this when you signed me on.
Fuck's sake, Tom.
I am
Can't take
legit gonna
you
have to just have a
anywhere.
lawyer on retainer at some point, aren't I? With you.
Just have a disclaimer saying that nothing I say is. the
Yeah,
truth,
he's
it's
just
the truth
accidentally
of the nation
racist a
as
fair
whole.
bit. Oh dear God.
It's fine, man. If we keep picking up that I'm apparently a racist, we might get the Alex Jones crowd on there.
Oh shit! No, we don't want that though. Because I'm nowhere near right wing enough for them. So
Motherfucker, no one here is right wing enough for them.
I don't think anyone on earth is right wing enough for them except themselves.
We have a long-time Tumblr user and a self-described communist on this podcast. There is no way we're right wing enough for them.
This is where Adam's just secretly Hitler.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if you believe in horseshoe theory, we are right wing enough for them.
Wait,
Oh
what?
God, don't even.
Anyone that believes in horseshoe theory is a twat.
Please
so-
explain to me what the fuck horseshoe theory is.
Wait, have you never
You
heard
don't-
anyone bring that
oh
up?
No.
It's the belief that anyone that holds an extreme political view is essentially the same as anyone else that holds an extreme political view, regardless of what those views actually are.
Well, I believe that there's no such thing as like I believe that the political spectrum is a circle, or like a globe at best.
It's basically the thing brought up by people that are very smug that they don't have strong opinions on things.
It's brought up by
and
liberals and
essentially just
Trotskyists.
pure centrists.
I mean, I am pretty much a pure centrist, and I don't really,
Yeah, but are you the kind of guy that goes on about how both sides are the same and extremism is the real issue?
No, because they're not. Both sides have nuances. Eventually, when you get to the extreme sections, they're basically the same, but...
They're the same in effect. It's weird.
But when was the last time you ever saw someone who's like a true fascist or a true communist? That wasn't from the 50s.
I mean, hell, both of those, they just tend to go fucking super authoritarian.
Exactly.
most of the time. The actual ideology gets dropped.
It's just...
Yeah, but, enlightened centrists, they're fun.
Is that what they're called?
Well, that's what I fucking
That's
call
what they
them.
call themselves. I
Oh,
think.
for
The
fuck's
people
sake.
that act all high and mighty because
Ooh, we're in the middle.
they don't have a strong opinion, and they think that people with strong opinions...
I'm sorry, if you don't
are-
have a strong opinion, you aren't doing politics right. So, for all intents and purposes, every time I've done a political test, I've either come out slightly right-wing, slightly liberal, or centre.
Well, that's because most of those political tests are based off the idea of trying to find a mathematic thing.
Yeah.
And if you have varying opinions, you're going to end up in the same. Like, hell, by that.
But
by
that's
way
the
those
thing,
tests
everybody
work-
has varying opinions.
By the way those tests work, someone that is extremely right on some issues and extremely left on others could theoretically be dead center, because that's just where it ends up mathematically.
Anyway,
And by a fun thing, someone that has the exact opposite views on every point could end up in the exact same place as them on the graph.
1 minute, we're just gonna go to the Discord chat. Yeah, don't worry about it. Adam isn't Hitler. It's fine.
Adam has proven himself as not Hitler.
Not Hitler by the political compass.
Oh my gosh, we do one of those again.
I don't, because every time I do, I change. And I just sort of do a
Every time I do-
circle.
Every time I do, I get more right. So let's see what happens this time.
It's because you keep talking to me. I'm just sort of
Not
like...
more right, more left.
Oh, right. It's probably because you keep talking to Ryan.
Like how's your right wing modifier and your left wing modifier?
Yeah. To be fair, from what I remember, watching Ryan do it, I don't think he is actually all that left wing.
No, I am like.
It's because
pretty
these
left
are at best a super
Yeah, but-
simplified attempt to model a.
Yeah, it's to
know what they
mathematicize the
do.
thing that shouldn't be mathematicized.
It's trying to model your opinion
It's fine.
on a range of things. Which
People have
always-
tried to model love. To great
Yeah,
success,
well,
actually.
But what is love?
I believe it's
hurt
Baby
me.
Don't Hurt Me.
Don't hurt
Don't
me.
hurt me.
No more.
I forgot who it was that
Sometimes
wrote it.
Eventually, as a culture, we'll be able to hear that sentence without saying that.
No, anytime someone says "what is," I say "Baby Don't Hurt Me." So we're never gonna get into that section. I mean, I've got it on my Audible. It's a paper on on like the mathematics of love. I forgot who writes. It's that woman from that ginger woman from Number File. If you're interested, and like can't be asked to wait for me to get it up. Come on, Audible, load your fucker. Yes, I know I have free books to redeem.
This week's episode is sponsored by...
Oh, sod off. It's not sponsored by Audible.
We're not sponsored. We can't just keep saying...
Hannah Fry. The Mathematics of Love by Hannah Fry.
Sorry, I've already started singing What Is Love, and that's probably going to be... that's going to get picked up by the censor box.
Yeah.
It's fine. Content ID isn't that sophisticated yet. And
Yeah, it is.
Key, so it's fine. Shit, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it, you fix your goddamn copyright system. Europe thinks it's a good idea. That's when you know shit's gone tits up.
What, when Europe thinks it's a good idea? I'm gonna have to like...
So far, most of the time that Europe's been united in an opinion, it's not been great.
Well, when was the last time Europe was united in opinion?
Exactly.
No, seriously, when was it?
Colonialism.
Well, alright, colonialism.
It would be colonialism.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah, it would be colonialism.
Yeah,
Fair point.
I mean...
Yeah, so Europe, whenever Europe agrees on something, it's just bad for the entire planet by the sounds of it. Yeah.
I mean, Eurovision turned out alright.
I mean, to be honest, Eurovision is going to be like a bit of a shitstorm this year anyway.
Oh god.
Considering the whole, what the hell did Donald Trump do a couple months back, and who's running the Eurovision this year?
Can't remember either of those because Trump does a lot of things and I don't
Isn't
pay
it
attention to
Russia?
Eurovision.
He moved is it the either the mission or the emissary?
Oh god, it's not in
yeah.
Israel. Oh
To-
god, no, yeah.
to Jerusalem, saying that is the
Yeah,
capital city
wait.
of Israel.
Wait, is Israel the next host of
Israel is
Eurovision?
the next host of the Eurovision.
Wait, aren't Israel still in a
Fuck's
massive
sake,
conflict with
that-
Palestine?
Palestine aren't in the Eurovision because Palestine
Yeah, I know.
isn't technically a country.
Let's not get into a debate.
Technically.
Country.
It's
I'm
not
not
a
enjoying
UN
No, as in
recognised
it's
nation.
not
No,
a recognised
it's
country
just
by
not a
countries
UN
recognising other
recognised.
countries' country.
No, by the UN, which is
It's not even just that. Most countries don't recognise Palestine as a country. Most of them recognise them as either a rebel state or a state under oppression.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even sure who's in the right in that discussion anymore. It's very awkward and complicated and scary.
I mean, it's 50 years of complete bullshit where no one's done anything really nice to either side.
Yep.
There you go. That's a centralist, enlightened centralist opinion on the Israel-Palestine debate. You know I'm going to use this now because I'm clearly above you guys, obviously.
Yeah, we dare to have opinions on things.
I'm sorry, I refuse to believe someone on this planet is a true centralist.
It's like, those guys that you get into an argument with on a comment section, and then they act like they won because you got angry?
Even though they probably also got angry.
Yeah, that is peak centrism. It's, haha, you're emotionally invested in this, that means I win.
No, it doesn't. But if you're emotionally invested in something, it means you give a shit.
Yes.
Nah,
If you don't give a shit, there's something wrong with you.
in a
Indeed.
political debate with someone, and I explained that I'm like a student of politics. I study it academically, and they said, you had to bring in your qualifications.
To be
therefore,
fair,
clearly.
To be fair, Ryan, he's right.
No, if someone has,
Are we condoning this as an actual valid point? Or are we
Yeah,
just
I'm
taking
condoning this as an actual valid point.
no, because if someone's actually spent the time to study something.
Yeah, but
they're
Ryan,
going to be
in the
more
same
knowledgeable
respect
than
that
you.
I study chemistry, I don't know everything there is to know in chemistry.
Yeah,
Come on,
but
Ryan,
I'm pretty
you
bad
know-
at physical
probably a
chemistry.
more-
Ryan, you
Probably a
study
more
politics,
reliable
you should
source
know this.
on chemistry,
The last thing
let's
you-
say
the
me.
last thing that gets
Not
brought up-
necessarily.
On a real degree.
Not necessarily,
but-
Ryan. You might know something about chemistry that I have absolutely no idea on.
Yeah, people
I
know
mean,
different
like I
things.
said, there is a chance of that, but
No, there's not a
overall,
chance of it.
you
I'm gonna say that it's
probably
pretty
know
likely.
more. No, but overall, you
Well, overall knowledge of
You know
chemistry,
a
sure,
lot
but
more.
overall doesn't give nuance. Overall gives you an average.
yeah, but it's a working point.
I think what he means is if you were discussing chemistry with someone else and you were disagreeing on something, you having studied chemistry is a valid point in your favour.
Is it though?
Right,
My grades beg to
If
differ.
Okay.
And you can make know to be a science and a shit about hardware.
Yeah, but so do I.
Kyle, it's 2 weeks before we even go back. How the fuck are your grades already bad?
No, I mean, they're bad from last year. It's fine, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You're
I thought you
starting
finished
the
with a
term with
2-1.
shit grades.
I mean, I did. That is pretty bad, Ryan. That is not a good grade.
2-1 is like second best.
No, 2-1 is third best.
Wait,
It's second
2-1
worst.
2-1 is not a first, so...
Or a 2-1, therefore it's not second best.
yeah, I said a 2-1, not a 2-2. You're thinking,
Yeah,
did you get a
we were all
2-2,
saying
Kyle?
2-1.
No, I got 2-2.
Oof.
Right.
Oof,
Yeah,
I know,
that's a
right?
shit
Yeah,
grade.
that's a pretty shit grade, yeah.
So I thought
Okay,
you
yeah,
got a
Kyle,
2-1.
you're shit, thanks.
I thought
I
you
was
got
like,
a 2-1.
I think I'm like 4% off a 2-1 or some shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
two-
painful.
And
Because
got
a 2-4
bombed because
is
I
great.
kind of fucked up a lab report on drugs of abuse. And when I say kind of fucked up, I mean like ridiculously fucked up. I apologise to any lecturer who is like on that course if you're watching. That does not reflect me, as proven by my exam.
This is why you shouldn't take abusable substances while writing about abusable substances, kids.
I mean, it wasn't on an abuse. Actually, maybe coffee. Actually, yeah, the amount I consume coffee, I think, is considered an abusable substance.
Aha!
I thought you were going to be from Yorkshire.
My joke was validated. Stop.
To be
being
fair, there
racist
was the
about
time
you,
that
Ryan.
you know the time that I stayed over in like with the computer science kids and did that all nighter.
Oh yeah.
And then went to my lecture at 11 o'clock the next morning. I actually went pretty much high on caffeine.
Damn it.
That was
I
the
know,
most
Kyle,
focused I have ever been in a lecture.
Shit.
I
And I
know, Kyle, I
legitimately
thought
have
you
never made more notes in my life.
That was a
I should really try this excessive.
Do
coffee.
not
It
try
sounds
it
great.
excessively.
Drink
I don't know,
tea.
man. I generally am just in a state of half awakeness, so.
So
maybe
just
it'll
drink
work.
tea, so there you go.
Ryan, no.
No,
one's drinking tea. Fuck
Because
off.
I'm not a fucking pussy. Coffee's where it's at, boy.
No, mate, tea is
Says
so
that and
much
has it
better.
with soy milk.
You say,
find
you're
some
a,
there.
Kyle, you're a soy boy.
I'm
Drink tea.
I'm clearly a soy boy.
Real gangsters drink soy milk.
Oh, no, right. To be fair, I made some semolina pudding the other day with soy milk and it was pretty nice. So, yeah, your boy can make semolina pudding apparently.
Nice.
It's really
We've
hard to
also
make with soy
some-
milk
we
because it
have
just
somehow
evaporates.
we have somehow doubled back again to your cooking. we never even got to our next point.
What was the next point?
I don't
feel
know.
like
We
you-
started.
I thought we
2
were still on the
points in.
EU.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
we
we're meant
started
to
2
be.
points in. We never got to the next point.
What was the next point?
Also,
I forget these things.
I don't know. It's either the riddle or cold callers by the list because we started.
Alright, fuck it. Let's go to the
Yeah.
riddle. Because, yeah,
Okay, explain.
since we got on about education, there we go. That's our segue.
Education.
Boy!
Okay.
So
yeah,
I,
yeah.
boys, have got a
Good
riddle
morning,
for
Ryan.
you. There
I
are.
don't-
Listen up, children, because this is going to be on
Yeah,
your
go on.
exam, alright?
Say
If you're
riddle me
7
first.
years old. Just bear this in mind, a 7-year-old exam question.
Mentally, I'm down for this.
There are 49 dogs signed up to compete in the dog show. There are 36 more small dogs than large dogs signed up to compete.
Yeah, I think you said
How many small dogs are there signed up to to compete?
There are 36 more.
36
Put it
more
down
small
on this
dogs
map.
than large dogs signed up to compete. How many small dogs signed up to compete?
Fuck's sake.
36 more small dogs than large dogs signed up to compete.
So.
What?
30. No way, I'm miscounting myself. Shut up.
I'm going to guarantee you're going to get it wrong, because I got it wrong.
Wait, but there's an odd
Hang
number overall, so how the fuck?
Wait, so
Yeah, so you're now seeing where the issue
was
comes
it?
in. There's an odd number overall, yep.
Yep, this is throwing me off. Okay, what the fuck?
Do you want to know the answer?
No, give me a second. I need to. The basic math is the part that I can't do in my head, so I've got a calculator up. 6.5.
Ooh! He's actually right.
Why is that the answer? Don't put it in a context that doesn't allow for halves if the answer is a fucking half.
Yeah.
What is this bullshit?
So my answer was 13, because my mum typed it out extremely wrong, and said how many large dogs and how many small dogs there are there. So I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
there's clearly 2 types of dogs. It's simple algebra. Just solve for
Yeah.
X. It's not that simple, apparently. You can have half a dog in this universe.
For there to be 36 more, there'd have to be a half.
There's got to be a dead dog in this competition. This is for a
hang on.
7-year-old's
Wait,
exam
was this
question.
I'm
Was
not
this
gonna
the
lie.
small dog?
The math for it is. I don't know what 7-year-olds are supposed to be doing these days with math.
Basic
math-
algebra.
The-
Very,
Right.
very basic algebra.
I'd argue that this is high end of basic algebra.
I too would agree.
The only issue
but
is
the issue with
concept
this-
it's put in fucks the entire question because logically it doesn't click.
Exactly. So maths is basically logic dot degree.
I think if they'd have put it in any context that allowed for
So
a
the
half
key,
of this,
yeah, like
it'd
an
be fine.
like an apple.
or if they'd have had, not an odd number as the larger total. All they had to do.
But no, this is an actually bullshit exam question for a 7-year-old to have to answer. I can't remember where this is from, and the
Are
news.
you just saying that because you got it wrong, Cal?
Oh no, I got it wrong because of the way it's worded. Like as I'm reading through it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And the answer
Yeah,
is
I retroactively passed my math stats. Well done.
yeah. I mean, I only got like 4 in stats, so
Oh, I don't know how badly I did on mine now.
I got like 5 in science. It's fine.
I mean, if I could take them now, I'm sure I'd pass.
Oh, I don't know about that. If
I
do
hope.
yourself a favour. What did you take at A level again?
Not media studies. 3D design, computer science, and electronics.
Okay. So you know how you're now like... Oh, actually, never mind. They're all B-techs, aren't they?
No, they were all A levels, but they were all very much
Very
coursework.
courseware driven, though, yeah?
They
Yeah.
had 2 of them had exams, but the exams were still only 60% at most.
Okay, so go for the exam one. What was it? Computer science, I'm assuming.
Computer science had exams, yeah.
Okay, so you are now second year. Yeah, shit. Sorry, we're doxing him again. Second year of
It's
computer
fine.
science, right?
Yeah.
Go back and do a second. Go back and do your A level computer science, and I will, bet that you'll be surprised with the answer. You
You know
will
what?
actually do worse.
I'm bored enough to do that at some point. I think I still know where they list the old tests
Yeah.
as well.
You will probably do worse. Because you will be taught in computer science that most of the shit you learned at A level is wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same
yeah.
with all sciences. It blends with that. Like, it's just we get told the overview,
Yeah.
and then we get told a more specific.
It's like
information later.
part of my A level chemistry was like,
Also,
why do we not use Kekule's model of benzene versus like the delocalized ring structure?
Mate, this is gonna hit you more because you're a proper science.
Go on.
The first year of computer science at uni is essentially just recapping what we covered in A level because they can't assume that we took it because not all places offer computer science as A level.
First semester of chemistry is the same, but that's because there's so much difference in like the courses.
Yeah.
So like AQA chemistry is not going to be the same as like EdXL
Pretty much
chemistry.
The first year was either recapping stuff we'd already done and basically the same, or stuff that's wildly different and doesn't really matter.
So there you go. For those of you who are moving into university, I'm assuming in the next few weeks, considering Lincoln moves in the next week, and I think Hull's in a couple of weeks. I think Hull's like the arse end of September.
If you're a fresher at Lincoln, you should be moving in tomorrow, really.
At latest,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you do not throw out your notes from sixth form, because they will
Yeah.
come in quite handy.
Keep your sixth form notes. You can just sleep through half your lectures. At the
No,
start
you
of the-
can't. Do not sleep through half your lectures. Stop telling people they can sleep through half the lectures.
I mean,
I
maths.
didn't sleep through
Yeah.
half my lectures. I didn't do this, so I can't say it's good advice. I only slept through like a quarter of them at the end of the year.
I think I
because
fell
was
asleep
First year.
in one
First semester, I
lecture.
pretty much ignored most of my lectures first semester, first year.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who actually went to the lectures and actually wound up with the worst
No,
grade?
I went to them.
I went
Experimentally,
to
yes.
almost all of them. It's just towards the end of the year, my issue with sleeping patterns got a lot fucking worse, and I just slept through my alarm a couple of times.
I can't say I've ever slept through an alarm going to a lecture. I've slept through my
Yeah.
alarm many times on a weekend, so sorry to my housemates for that.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate habit when you wake up at like 2 p.m. and like, shit, I had a 9 a.m. today.
Oh, fucking hell.
You know those days when you just forget to turn your ringer on your phone, so you just never wake up?
Well, my alarm blares through my ringer anyway, even if it's off.
It's fine though, I can't possibly have that issue this year.
Why, you got a better phone?
Well, no, because I'm by the front door, and everyone in my house is either on computer science or games.
Fairs.
So there's no way I can miss a lecture.
But no, there you go.
Unless
Mini
all the
tangent that
scientists
actually
are
turned into
digital.
kind of a topic. If you want to challenge
Yeah.
yourself, go back and do either your GCSEs or A-level questions.
Oh yeah.
GCSEs will be the funniest. Because everything, and I mean everything you learn in GCSE science is wrong.
Oh,
Like, it is... You know when you say everything, like, gets simplified down more and more? Like, the lesser the level is.
Yeah.
GCSEs at that point where it's just wrong.
Nice to know I actually know nothing about physics then.
Oh no, nor do I, don't worry about it.
Actually, no, I know some things about the electronics component of it because I did that at A level. No.
Yeah, okay, so which way does current flow?
Oh, fucking bad. Mate, all I know is if you put 12 volts to a circuit meant for 5 volts, you can blow up your mate's coursework.
Fucking hell.
All that happened.
You're gonna have a bad time.
All that
If you
fucking
pizza
happened.
when you eat French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. Oh shit, that's a meme, we're gonna get sued.
No, we've already had too many memes. We're getting sued out.
It's fine, we've got fucking Moana up on the screen, so if Disney doesn't take this video down, I'm actually gonna be sad.
Wait, shit, was I AQA for computer science?
Were you what?
Who knows? I can't remember. I'm trying to find what my past paper would have been for my year, but I can't remember if I was AQA or something
No,
else.
don't do it for your year, because you'll know the answers for your year.
No, fucking what? I'm a dumbass.
Do it for the year after, like... Oh, actually, shit, the year after won't be released for you, will it?
Yeah.
No, the year after mine, my course completely changed.
Yeah, I can't remember what fucking group, assessment board I was on. Which is an issue.
See, we used to like... so I was on OCR for everything except maths, in which case it was OCR MEI. Because...
Yeah, I don't fucking know anymore. I know I was definitely AQA for electronics, but I don't know about computer science.
See, my teachers thought, oh, they're on OCR, let's give them an EdXL exam, because that'll teach them different skills. And it's like, you realise the courses aren't the same, right?
And I'm pretty sure I don't have my documents for it lying around anymore.
Ooh, what's this? What's Tom posted?
That's not... Oh,
Posted for
hell
Tom.
yeah. That is defo something I've done before. Oh, good old man.
So it is AQA you did then? That was more. I know that's only AQA, not OCR.
Really, do OCR not do
Normalised
that
floating
type of
point
question?
representation.
They did them when I did it. But I was in school, so I did the OCR past papers as well, and they didn't never touched
Oh.
this.
You're learning stuff new every day, boys.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next topic before we, like, get on
yeah, no,
school?
I was AQA for computer science. I just found me exam results.
Right, so... I mean, I've got this saved as document 1 on my phone, so it's all good. Okay, so should we get on to the cold callers thing? Because I have a lovely stock image for this.
Oh, do tell.
I mean, it's not an Indian, so, like, you know, stop being racist, alright?
I wasn't being... I'm being slandered. Character assassination, this is.
Probably suggest it.
This is, I mean, if you're probably not watching the stream very well, this is,
No, I've not got the stream
clearly,
up,
this
actually.
is Becky. She works in IT.
Oh, Becky from IT.
Becky from IT is, she's a
We
cold
all
caller.
know Becky from IT.
So, Becky from IT works with Microsoft
Oh, dear.
to provide assistance for viruses on your computer.
Viruses.
I feel like this should be in. Oh yeah, viruses as well. I feel like this should be
Viruses
in,
on your desktop.
Is that Windows-sponsored viruses, or
Oh yeah, Windows-sponsored viruses, obviously.
the malware that Windows puts on there? So you know
Obviously, yeah. I mean, just uninstall that shit. It's so much
I
bloatware.
feel like she should be in degenerate because fuck cold calls.
Alright, yeah, fair enough.
Cold
Becky
calls.
from IT gets put in degenerate corner.
Is there really enough room in the degenerate corner?
Yeah, there is, because I'm just gonna...
There's plenty of space.
Oh, let me just like... There we go. Job is a good one, as it were. So, basically, cold callers are now facing fines of £500,000.
Okay, so you might kind of cut out then, and it just sounded like it said £5.
Oh yeah, clearly £5. Cold callers are now facing fines of £500,000. I love your your enthusiasm towards this, and sort of this isn't really gonna matter anyway, is it?
I mean, hey, it might prove a reduction of cold callers.
I actually got more cold
Overall.
callers after this bill was announced.
Nice. They're
Right.
getting it in while they can.
Yeah. So I got a ring today from Manchester. I was like, oh, okay, it's Manchester. It's probably a safe number, right? Caller ID is the best thing that's ever happened. All right. So it's like from Manchester. It's like, okay, we're calling today about your accident. What accident? I've not the accident that you were involved in. That wasn't your fault.
Oh my god.
Oh, that accident.
No, please tell me you've wasted as much of their time as possible.
No, because my phone was dying.
No, man,
Aw.
you waste their time. That way,
No,
the
my-
person
my,
who
uh,
actually have to work in a cold call center, get more money because they've actually had more time on call.
See, my
do
my
well.
longest is 19.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the longest I managed to keep someone on the phone for.
Honestly, just try and see if you can start a discussion with them about your cooking.
Oh no, what I did on that one was try to work out some information of like the internal dynamics of the cold caller centres. I got put onto the manager, it was great.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got transferred after like a while to the manager whose name was Fred, because of course his name was Fred.
Yeah, they're not going to get the real names to people they are irritating for.
It's fine, Brad picked up the phone and Fred was transferred.
Nice.
They actually sounded different, so I don't think it was Brad putting on a voice.
No, you never know, do you?
I don't think it was though. I don't know, maybe.
I fucking love that. Just say you're putting them onto the manager and just put a little bit of a voice on.
So then Fred decided to like sort of tell me a little bit about how the company works and whatnot. And basically, right, they make a shitload of money.
Oh yeah. Like one of my housemates got like a shit ton over summer just for doing tech support.
So he says to me, they earn about like 1.5 million per day. And I was like, how? It's like, that can't be a real number. It's like, yeah, you'd be surprised how many gullible people there are in the world. We don't just ring to the UK.
Yeah.
And
makes
it's like,
sense.
okay, fair enough then. But
There is a
how?
reason that so many people are willing to sit at a desk and phone people for hours on end.
I mean, obviously the numbers are extremely debatable because, coming from a guy whose name is Fred, from a cold call centre, but still.
I mean, I
like,
doubt he's trying to advertise a job position.
true.
There's not much incentive he has really to say he's making a shit ton.
But you can believe somewhat of it. No, maybe not 1.5 mil, but like a lot. Because like you generally always seem to get cold callers, so it must be profitable. And he says there's not just like one group on one floor or whatever. There'll be like multiple different cold caller centers.
Oh yeah.
So like, it'd be say Microsoft and BT on the same floor.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't hear, there were inverted commas around them names. But yeah, essentially, they could be facing fines of 500,000. Or is it 500 million? I think it's 500,000.
Potentially,
You wrote
it's
500,000. 500 million seems a bit excessive.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 500,000. It's alright, bill comes up later. It's fine, don't worry about it.
I mean,
Still.
I don't know. I mean,
Do you think they're actually gonna get fined?
I don't know, because who's chasing up this? Who is issuing these fines? How is this all being sorted?
I think it's the British government. I'm not entirely
Yeah.
sure, because I sort of looked at it and went, yeah, whatever.
Because it's going to be a question of jurisdiction and what technically constitutes a cold call and shit that's going to get brought up, I reckon.
I mean, cold call is legally defined.
Well, that helps then.
It's any unwanted phone call to your person. Or something very, very specific like that.
I mean, shit, man, I don't know, because I've never really noticed cold call as much of a significant problem.
The thing is, I think logically, I think what it is if they call you and you go along with the scam, it's no longer a cold call because it's a service you want.
Yeah. Like, people phoning up offering a service, I guess if it happens enough, it can be irritating, but I've never really noticed much of an issue with it. Don't know if that's just my
Seriously?
experience, though. Yeah, no.
Are you ex-directory though?
Fuck if I know what that means.
As in, you're not on the directory.
No clue what my personal number. I doubt my personal number is. I think my home phone would be.
I
because we run
mean,
a
my
business
personal number, I get like
so,
one a month at most. I don't get that many.
Yeah.
At home, on the other hand, maybe 3 a day.
I have had approximately, I think maybe 2 ever on personal phone, and very low amounts. Definitely over the summer, I didn't notice any through home phone, which is notable because we run a business through that. So you'd think it'd be on directory.
To be fair though, from what I know, like my dad works in a pub and he's like, manning the phone if it rings
Yeah.
or whatnot. He says that he don't get that many. You still get them, but like,
Yeah.
not many.
Because I tend to have to end up running the answering machine over summer when people aren't in. Because
Yeah.
we get a lot of business related calls, and I have never once noticed a cold caller. So I don't know if it's just my area, like I just are less frequent in terms of our numbers. Or
No, they
what.
usually target people that they know will be vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm vulnerable to the cold callers apparently.
Well, yeah, because you apparently
Usually.
talk with them for about fucking half an hour.
Mate, I have some well good conversations with them.
Exactly, that's why you're vulnerable. They pass your number on. Oh, this bloke just lets you talk for like 30 minutes and waste time,
I'm getting paid. To be fair, they're
Yeah.
paid on commission, I think, so they wouldn't get paid that much.
Yeah.
But no, this isn't gonna work. Like, is it? Like, let's be honest. Nothing's gonna come of this, Law.
To be honest,
Probably not.
Becky from IT is still gonna be Becky from IT.
To be honest, if anything, I feel most sorry for Becky from IT because they're the only ones at risk to lose out. The companies, let's face it, aren't really going to give a shit. It's
Yeah.
the people whose jobs might be lost because the companies can no longer exploit this business practice. Because stopping exploitative business practices is good, but if it's leaving a bunch of people completely without a job and kind of fucked, then
Yeah, but it's worth saying. Okay, so we're gonna be a bit stereotypical and possibly a bit racist. So most of these cold callers come from India, right?
Here we go.
I don't think that is racist to say, right? I don't think.
The general perception is
It's an Indian cold caller, right? There are a shitload of call centers, like legitimate call centers in India.
Yeah. I think basically what it comes down to is, if there was a more legitimate job available, why aren't they doing that?
Maybe because this is paying them more.
Exactly. So those people.
Yeah, there has actually been a lot of research into like Indian call centers.
Because they don't get paid much by like normal companies because they can get away with paying them low.
Yep.
Which is why they don't
pay
have
better. But yeah,
Which
the thing
honestly
is, they
be the
still
issue,
pay
I reckon.
better than a lot of other places.
It's like a call centre work over here in the UK is pretty well paid for what it is. Like, yeah, you can live off of it. In most areas.
I mean, I'd like to think that you should be able to live off any job, but apparently that makes me a dirty communist.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I'd like to think that a full-time job should be, like, easily enough to not die off.
It should. But that's not always the case. So, to be honest, sometimes it's just do it the way people live. Like, my living expenses will not be the same as your living expenses.
Yeah, I understand that is definitely a major factor.
But, I don't know, like, call centre work is... It's got one of them weird stigmas to it.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's generally seen as irritating to your average person. They don't like getting cold called. They don't like dealing with.
No, I don't mean cold callers. I mean just like call centre work in general because of cold callers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The general perception of call centre work is unhelpful tech support and some cold caller that doesn't speak your language. That's what the general public perception is. And
then tells you to fuck off if you stay on the phone too long with them.
I think honestly, it's because it's something that inconveniences the general public. That's why there's a bad opinion of them, because oh well, it's annoying me personally and getting in my way.
But we
must be
need
shitty
call
thing.
centres. That's the thing.
They're
I
a
mean-
very important thing.
I mean, we don't for everything, but like the majority.
Call centres are a massively underappreciated area of work. It's like fast food and restauranteering in general. It's massively underappreciated in terms of the amount of the people that do it and how worthwhile and valuable it is.
But it's like, okay, so I don't think call centres also help themselves because I'm just being reminded of. Okay, so here's the thing: get your phone out now, right?
Okay, no, call centres are probably run in the most fucking bare bones, as cheap as you
And
can
ring
make
the
it work.
DVLA.
I'd rather not piss them off. I'm still waiting for my license to take the
You know what I mean? Though? Like they have. Please make sure you listen to all of these options as they may be important and not necessarily apply to you or whatever it is. Please select the option that is most.
at this point.
You what?
Because doesn't their website fucking shut off between the hours of after the hours of 6 and 10?
Oh, I ain't a fucking clue.
You can't even use their website. I doubt their calls are fucking active.
But okay, in the morning then,
Yeah.
give them a ring, have a bit of a laugh, and see how long it takes to get through to a person. You
know
will
what?
give up trying.
I actually fucking might, just to inquire about when the fuck I'm getting my card.
Yes. You won't get to that.
No, but I know
You will give up halfway through.
Yeah, but I know that if I ring them with no plan of what to actually say if it does go through, then it will fucking go through. 'Cause I know my luck.
But make sure you pay attention to all the options.
Oh, I definitely will.
Because you can't use fast tracks. You can't just like type in the number. Like you can't just put in like
Yeah.
extension code 41551 or
To
whatever.
be fair, they probably get sick of people putting in the wrong thing and getting very annoyed and confused when they don't get what they thought they were going to get.
I've worked in a call centre. For the most part, it's coming through to you as the same person anyway. It just comes through as a different heading.
Even still, probably convenient for the person there. I don't know, you know what the fuck goes on there.
Okay, so the most annoying one I got was someone who was at a at depot came through on the roadside line. That was it. It's the most annoying I ever got.
See, and
So I'm here ready, prepping myself to get a guy home.
yeah,
And it comes through, it's just like, okay, sound, thanks. Not an issue, I'll just log the job. It's like, next time we call through on the normal line. But that's about as annoying as it gets.
I'm starting to think you should have led with the fact that you've worked in a call center.
I thought you knew!
Motherfucker, I don't know every detail of your life. I'm just saying it's probably really a relevant point to bring up when we're
Yeah, I
discussing
did,
call centers
did 4
and
months
things
during,
that.
like, between 6th form and starting uni.
Oh shit.
Because, like, you know, money's nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's good money doing that. I've got one.
I mean, I can't say how much I earned, but, like,
Yeah.
you know, live on
One of my
air anyway.
housemates did tech support for I think an app that was starting up or something,
Yeah.
something like that, for a few months during the summer, and apparently it was pretty decent pay.
But I wasn't complaining on my pay.
Yeah.
I mean, I complained when I didn't get taxed, but yeah. Because, like, apparently I didn't learn, like, I wouldn't be working enough for them to bother putting the tax through, because I'd only have to have it rebated anyway, so.
Hmm.
This is where the IRA, or where, not the IRA, what's it called? The fucking Internal Revenue, what do they call it? HMRC. There we go. This is where they come and I was like, please, you owe us money. It's like, yeah, but you'd only rebate it anyway. Because I think, what is it? You need to earn, is it 11.5 grand before you're taxed? It might even be more, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think I earned nearly, I don't think I earned half of that while I was there. So quick maths, people can probably figure out how much I earned just from that.
Maybe.
I know, right? Let's get on to the next topic before we keep talking about Becky from IT and just get more annoyed. Like IT. Not IT, from call centers and stuff. So Becky, I'm sorry, you're not fixing my viruses anymore. The next one is...
Cheerful topic next.
Which one? Which one have I put next? Because I've got like the original draft here. So the next one I've got is Novichok updates.
The next one
On
after this
her,
on the thing is police officer does that thing that police officers tend to do in the US.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, sure. Let's talk about that one.
Shot someone with basically no provocation and for not really a justifiable reason.
Okay, if you've looked up it kind of makes sense. Oh, right, so I wasn't going to upload an image of this because it is still technically an ongoing case, and for the sake of the justice system, we're not going to talk too much about guilt and whatnot, we're just going to discuss facts, or what's been established, yeah? No opinions, because this is an ongoing case, and innocent until proven guilty, okay?
Should we just like filter everything I say for the duration of this segment?
It's fine, I've got you macro to mute.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so, what we know is, policewoman, I'm not naming her name because I don't really want you to Google it, because you might form an opinion and you might also be on the jury, so...
I mean, if it's in America, we won't be on the jury.
Yeah, but I have an American audience.
Oh, okay. BBC has an article on it, so we're allowed to say anything they said, right?
Maybe.
I mean, you say that, but...
The BBC kind of often dicks over courts. I mean, just look at Cliff Richard. Sorry, Sir Cliff Richard. So what happened is, policewoman comes off of a 15-hour shift. She's exhausted as fuck, according to her. Which, I think I would be too if I was a police officer working on a 15-hour shift.
She shouldn't be working 15 hours.
No, she shouldn't.
There's a problem.
Be
Right
legally
away.
There's one problem. There's a few problems. The next problem is, she goes into her apartment, or into the apartment building, where she does live. So she lives in this apartment, just one floor down from the floor she lands on. So she's accidentally pressed the button to go to like a floor higher, or something like that. It's one floor out anyway. And she walks out. Now, everything in the apartment block is identical, every layer, with the exception of the mat at the bottom of the doors. Something you don't really notice after you've done 15-hour shifts, right? Or at least I think that is like her rationale. So she goes to open her door, or what she thinks is her door, realises it's unlocked. She opens the door. I think she sees the light is on, and then it flicks off, but she sees a movement. She sees movements in the shadow. She pulls out her pistol and fires 2 shots. She then turns on the lights again, sees that there's a man dying on the floor, and immediately calls 999 or 911 because it's America.
Yep.
Ambulance is dispatched, and I think he was pronounced dead in the hospital. Witnesses have described her as distraught AF, and definitely not, 100% with it, with the sort of, oh my god, what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
And I believe the Texas Rangers have issued an arrest warrant for this woman. There is a bit of hoo-ha in America.
As well.
Yeah, it's in Texas.
Yep.
No, I don't think it was in Texas. I think it's just the Texas Rangers are helping them because it's a police officer, so it's an out-of-state issue.
Dallas Police.
Oh, is it Dallas Police? There we go. Texas Rangers shouldn't be helping them then. It should be an out-of-state police service. But hey-ho, let's not get into that. So, there's a bit of hoo-ha in America because it's another, white girl killing a black guy. It is. That's a fact.
This would have been a lot less controversial if it wasn't once again a black guy being shot by police.
In his own home.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think in this one, you probably can point a lot of blame towards the fact she was on a 15-hour shift.
I think you can also blame a lot of things on just general identicality.
Yeah, like, I think this, at least partially, is more manslaughter than murder.
I don't even think it's that. My personal opinion is, and please, if you are issued as the jury, switch off now.
Who the fuck?
Wait, people might be watching it in the future, and
yeah, okay. Theoretically, we've got to cover our ass for this.
Seriously, skip forward because we're about to talk about our opinions, and I want her to have the fairest trial she can possibly have.
Yeah, we don't want to influence juries.
Because the jury's already going to be influenced as fuck, considering it's a white woman who's killed a black guy. Okay? So skip forward if you've been issued to the jury. Probably skip forward maybe half an hour. Yeah, I think half an hour's probably safe. So, now that all that's over and done with, I genuinely don't think it's manslaughter. I don't think it's murder. I think it's an accidental death.
So that's manslaughter.
It's not. Manslaughter is.
It's an awkward area.
I think it's an accidental death, not her killing, if that makes sense. I think there's no fault. Is what I'm saying.
As much as I'd love to agree with this, like, because I mean,
I agree. There's fishy areas.
really fucking bad for both of them.
If I was her lawyer, I'd get her in charge for murder.
Yeah.
I'd try and get her on trial for murder, because then that alleviates the whole, you know, the jury's got plausible doubt and she can go away for manslaughter. Go for murder, because that way they can't be doubting. It's beyond reasonable doubt. You know, sure, if she fails, she's in for a longer sentence, but I think that's probably her best bet. I think there's enough evidence of reasonable doubt.
It's a horrible situation overall, but I think it does come down to the fact that even though, admittedly, yeah, 15-hour shifts shouldn't be allowed anyway, there is no... The fact that she's been put in those conditions is horrible.
The fact that she's driving after them conditions as well.
Yeah, she shouldn't be driving, she shouldn't be, you know... The fact you're giving someone 15-hour shifts and then allowing them to still walk around the streets with a loaded weapon.
No, I think that's fine. I think American police officers, once they're off duty, they still carry their firearm because they're still allowed to make arrests or some shit.
Yeah. I think
But that's fine.
The fact that, according to the events that we've been, you know, list given in terms of how things played out,
Yeah.
her initial response to an intruder was to immediately shoot with no other sort of notice or warning.
That's the thing that makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
The thing that makes me uncomfortable about the whole thing is the fact that Dallas police apparently found, I'm just going to throw a shit ton of quotation marks on that one, a small amount of marijuana in his apartment.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The Dallas police have been accused of trying to smear campaign someone who's been killed by a police officer. Which...
Do you know what? Never mind. Put her in for manslaughter. Do not put her in for murder, because there's not enough reasonable doubt now.
Yeah. The fact that Dallas police have found marijuana in his apartment sounds super fucking sus, considering America's police has a sort of habit at this point of trying to make themselves look better by putting evidence on people.
So what I think originally it was, as soon as the police found out, they issued an arrest warrant for her. They then asked the Texas Rangers, because they're like, whoa, boys, it's, you know, she's kind of in our jurisdiction, she's like in our precinct, we kind of need to get outside help.
To be quite frank, while there's no reason to suggest it was, there's also nothing to suggest it wasn't a premeditated murder anyway.
It wasn't. She's too distressed after the fact.
The fact that we have to suggest it likely wasn't, but that's all we have to go on. I think it's at the very least manslaughter because of the situation.
I'm kind of, after you've said the whole found marijuana, I'm kind of tempted to go on the manslaughter thing now as well.
Yeah. Like that doesn't even have to have anything to do with her. The fact that a search was conducted on his apartment afterwards by the police.
No, that's pretty standard.
Marijuana.
After someone dies in an apartment, it's pretty standard to do a search of it, you know, for forensics and whatnot.
It feels
suspicious, I know, but no, you're supposed to do a search just to make sure that it is definitely what you think it is.
That feels sus on the part of the police department, not on her part.
I'd be more sus if they didn't do a search of his apartment.
Yeah, no, that definitely, but the fact that drugs were found feels dodgy.
To be fair, it's Texas. Isn't Texas pretty, like, up with the whole drug scene?
I can't remember.
Oh no, I know it's like a ridiculously gay state.
Apparently the search warrant included contraband and narcotics among the items sought.
Contraband? As in what?
Fuck if I know. This person linked from a Fox News article though, so... Oh, apparently a search warrant... what the fuck is this about? So, according to... This is from fucking Fox News, so who fucking knows how valid this is?
No, there are news sources.
A very questionable one.
Yeah, but so's CNN. So's every news source.
So, multiple search warrants were executed on his apartment as part of the investigation into his death that included a list that included contraband and narcotics listed as items sought, which feels a bit fucking weird. That they'd be explicitly looking for illegal substances in the home of a manslaughter/murder victim.
What's she been arrested under?
She's been charged with manslaughter.
Right, so it's at the home of a manslaughter victim.
And is currently released on bail, I think.
Yeah, it's probably for a lot as well, I imagine.
Yeah.
At least she's not deemed to be a flight risk, so that's good.
I think, to be honest, most of the controversy surrounding this case is on the fact that there is some...
It's police on black violence, I think, is the issue.
Yeah.
That's
The main controversy around this case in particular, though, is this suspicion that the police department is trying to smear his image.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The main controversy isn't on the manslaughter itself this time, it's on how the police have responded to it.
To be fair, I think the police did the right thing at the start.
Because, quite frankly, for as much...
Because
shit
they
as it is,
were
you definitely
immediately there with
shouldn't-
the arrest
Yeah.
warrant. It was the Texas Rangers who said, right, we want to investigate further before we
Yeah.
issue an arrest warrant. So they then
Yeah, he-
rejected. They then overruled the arrest warrant. To which the police, not the police, the public had a bit of a backlash and was like, whoa, if this was any other Tom, Dick, or Harry, you'd be all over their ass.
Yeah.
And then they reissued the arrest warrant.
I think the big takeaway from this is that you should not be allowing people in such, quite frankly, such important roles as police officers, like these people who are carrying around loaded weapons, who are responsible for, essentially for acting in incredible dangerous situations to aid the lives of others.
Yeah. Well,
They shouldn't be
the thing is,
put
there
in
was
conditions
a
where they're
similar
going on 15-hour
situation with
shifts.
medicine.
It's an endangerment to themselves and the public.
There was a similar situation with, I can't remember if it was UK medicine or US medicine, where there was a small child who died under his doctor's care because the doctor had been on shift for way too long. I think it was like a good fucking 20-hour shift or some shit.
Quite frankly, 15+ hour shifts.
And
shouldn't be allowed.
now doctors are
Like,
under. In fact, it will be at the US because we don't have any maximum hour restrictions to doctors in the UK because we're fucking dickheads. So then there was laws putting restrictions about how long doctors were allowed to work.
Quite frankly, 15-hour shifts shouldn't be legal for any profession at all.
No.
Especially not those as important as medical practitioners or police officers, because they're in a position where they can directly affect the lives of people around them.
It's
a
like
massive
in
way.
general in the
Not their
UK,
job.
we have the most extensive you'll have is what's known as a 12-hour shift, right? And on a 12-hour shift, you do 4 on, 4 off.
Yeah.
So you do
that's
4
like-
hours. You do 12 hours for 4 days, then have 4 days rest. And then you're back on again.
Because, I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure technically, even the 8-hour shifts that we have as our base thing,
Yeah.
are technically super
Well, it's 7
unhealthy.
7.5 hours, but yeah.
Technically, 8-hour shifts are super unhealthy for people, because people aren't meant to be focused on a single thing for more than a couple of hours at a time. Biologically, anyway.
Well, that's why you're supposed to have breaks, isn't it?
Yeah. So that comes to the point where, if say the basic sort of 7-8 hour thing is really not great for a person, and in theory shouldn't really be as common as it is, then something that's almost double that is definitely fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Even without them carrying loaded weapons and other dangerous things.
I don't know. This is an extremely fishy situation.
Yeah, the way the police responded is somewhat fishy in the way that they dealt with it, and the entire situation should have never happened.
No. So our thoughts go to the God, what was the gentleman's name?
It was let's see, Botham Shem Jean.
Jesus.
Of John.
No way I'm going to try and pronounce that because
Yeah,
that
I'm
would
really
just-
bad at pronouncing things.
Our thoughts go to your family anyway.
If I misspoke any of that, I am incredibly sorry. I'm bad at reading names off.
But on a serious note, I hope
Yeah, he is.
there's more investigation into this. I hope the police officer who is, tried properly under a court of her peers, and he's given a fair trial, which I don't think she's going to get, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just given the scenario.
The situation that caused the death should have never happened,
No.
and should never be allowed to happen. You shouldn't be able to put people of that much potential to be a danger to those around them.
Yeah.
In conditions where they're going to be in such a state of.
Do you think there's going to be a change in legislation because of it?
I could only hope so. I mean, you've said before it happens.
It's happened in
for
medicine.
doctors in America.
Yeah.
It should be a thing for everyone, but especially those in positions like this where there is such potential harm.
In fact, you know what? I'm just going to Google what the hour limit thing is for doctors. I forgot what the law's called. It's mentioned a lot in like the YouTube channels that I follow. Just bear with me. Medical hour limit. Limit law name US. Let's find out. Libby Zion law, it's called. So it was after a resident physician had done nearly an 80-hour, roughly an 80-hour per week shift. And Libby Zion, who died at the age of 18, apparently, actually, under the care of what her father believed to be an overworked resident physician and an intern physician. It's apparently set about. Bear with me. I'm gonna Google it. Like in fucking what's it called? Okay, so they're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to work more than 80 hours per week or more than 24 hours consecutively.
Yeah.
And an attending physician needs to be present. Needs to be physically present at the hospital at all times. So yeah, like Libby's Island laws. Do you think there's gonna be this guy laws? Because I kind of hope there is, because I don't think. I think, to be honest, okay. So what's 15-hour work shifts like per week, like every day? Because you're only gonna be able to do it for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. So, well, let's put it this way: if
That's 60 hours.
Yes, 3 15-hour shifts in a week is already going over what the average country has as their,
Well, two would be just under full time.
Yeah.
So full time work is defined as, I think it's 36 hours.
2 15-hour shifts is the average hours per week in France.
There you go.
Which is the low end of countries.
Yeah.
Which,
so something needs to change.
Per day.
Yeah, something needs to change. I mean, on average, what is it? You're up like that kind of time anyway. Like that's the amount you're normally up, like a little bit longer than that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm on average not always awake for 15 hours of a day. Like, let alone working.
Oh dear God.
Like that is fucking. Oh my God. In that perspective, dear God. So fucking much. And a high stress job as well.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently a general surgeon can only work 50 to 60 hours as well.
Wow. Well, America has very high ends of that anyway, because America has a lot of weird things with overtime laws and.
Oh, doctors don't get paid overtime.
Don't get paid overtime and shit like that.
Doctors don't get paid overtime.
Yep, because why bother?
They are paid $80 an hour though.
It's great, but why bother paying the people that are there to save your life?
That's the median wage of a physician and surgeon in 2010. Apparently, they are paid $80 an hour. I'm in the wrong profession.
We all are.
Jesus.
That being said, medical professions are incredibly difficult, and
yeah, but making 6 figures.
Them deserve that much money, to be honest, for like the work they do.
Let's find out how much do UK doctors earn. So we'll go for junior doctors.
Nowhere near fucking enough.
I think junior doctors are like the most common.
Yeah, probably. Because most of them run off to a country where they're better valued.
Junior doctor salary. Oh, actually, it's not the worst. It's definitely not worth it for what you get, but it's not the worst. So, according to this site, healthcare.nhs.uk, Prink's probably pretty legit, right? From 2017, first year basic salary is £26,614, which then increased in your foundation year 2 to £30,805. If you're a doctor who is specialised in your training, you can expect a starting salary of 36,461, which will then progress to 46,208. Specialty doctors can earn up to 70 odd K, and consultants can earn like 100K. So yeah, like general practitioners can be on anywhere between like 56K and 85K. So actually, doctors in the UK aren't paid the worst. It's just so many of them are underpaid because they're all junior doctors, and they're massively overworked. So.
Honestly, the issue with medicine in the UK isn't that the doctors are overpaid or underpaid necessarily. It's that the institution itself just.
And they apparently work on average 40 hours per week, which is bullshit.
Yeah, that's roughly on par with what the average hours per week are supposed to be, like 35 to 40.
Oh, apparently you are paid overtime for any extra hours you work over the 40 hours per week. It's more so an extra 37% enhancement for working nights.
I'm pretty sure doctors tend to have roughly average working weeks, but pretty shit shifts.
Yeah.
And a lot of overtime generally.
Yeah, but they don't get paid very well for overtime. It's only 37% enhancement. Yeah. I got paid time and a half for any overtime. Like that's generally the going, I think. Like time and a half is I don't know. It's not that bad. It's just apparently you get paid for being on call as well, I think.
Yeah, but how much?
Oh, it comes into your overtime hours, I think. Just the way I'm reading this, could be wrong. But yeah. Essentially, doctors aren't paid the worst. I just genuinely don't think I'd ever want to be subjected to the amount of work they have to do. I could probably cope with it if I was trained. It wouldn't be an issue. It's just
they're not underpaid, much they're overworked.
Yeah, they don't get paid a fair wage. I think it'd be fair. But equally, if they did get paid a fair wage, I don't think we'd have an NHS. So...
Nope. Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
This country is a fucking mess.
You know, one of these days I'm going to find out how many doctors we've got, and I'm going to find out how much it would cost to give every doctor a 1.5% pay rise. Because I bet the figure would be staggering.
Yeah. Maybe we could do it if we, I don't know, made Amazon pay their taxes or something.
Yeah, maybe. Speaking of Amazon, should we segue into the next topic?
Yes.
Go on, then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the next topic, but you've just given a nice segue for me, so...
I love how you've misspelled his name in the brief.
You're allowed to call it Tesmez, I'm allowed to call him Bezos.
Oh, it's intentional. Okay, go on.
So, Mr. Bezos, the richest man on the planet, apparently.
The lad.
The lad. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
I mean, literally a myth. No one knows where he is because he just doesn't pay tax.
If I knew, I would definitely visit.
Yeah, it'd be nice. We need some money. Have you seen the state of our NHS? In fact, have you seen the state of your workers in this country? But yeah, he is apparently pledging $2 billion to charity.
You know, that sounds a lot. That sounds very impressive out of the context of his net worth.
Yeah. I know, right?
That's the equivalent of me giving a tenner to that guy that begs outside Wilco's.
Jesus Christ, you give a tenner? That's quite a lot.
Not even that.
In price, I
don't think it's even that though. That's the thing.
To be fair, I don't think it's that bad because I think after a while, money just gets like $2 billion. You can do a lot with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. The issue more comes from the fact that he has such a massive amount.
Yeah, but $2 billion is still a lot of money you can help invest in people's life.
It's a massive amount. It's a great amount of money for them to receive.
It's going to be a good, massive quality of life improvement for a lot of people, I think. So good on that one.
What it is that
tax avoidance.
Yes, it's a massive amount for them to get. The fact of the matter is, it feels like he's just trying to detract away from the fact that, you know, he isn't paying his workers a fair wage.
No.
And he has so much money that it's patently ridiculous at this point for him to even try and spend it all.
Yeah.
You know, if he truly cared, he would not have anywhere near as much money as he currently did. because he has no reason to have that money anymore.
Yeah, because he's the kind of guy who can live on the interest of the interest of the interest of his income.
Yeah, you know, he could actively try and buy as many expensive things as possible, and I don't think he'd actually manage to lose much money. Because there's just simply not enough things that you can buy with that, with the amount of interest you'd be gaining on it. And the
Do you
amount
think
of
he just
investment
sees
you
money
have.
as like a high score? Like, well, shit, Bill Gates got this high score. Better beat him at this game of Pac-Man.
At this point, that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, it's either that or he's been so used to the idea of not getting rid of money because he wants to earn it, that at this point, he can't comprehend the idea that maybe he finally has enough.
Yeah, but also, do you think he just kind of passively gets like so much? He's just like, well, fuck, what do I do with this now?
Yeah,
Then?
like, the dude gets so much. The dude probably doesn't fucking work anymore, let's face it.
Because Amazon is now the second $1 trillion company in the US.
He gets so much passively just from existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like,
We
the
talk
guy
about
could have retired like many years ago and been
we
quite
talk about
comfortable.
how much money like doctors get. He probably gets as much as the junior doctors in the UK together just by existing
Yeah,
without actually doing anything.
I don't know actually. There is quite a lot of doctors in the UK.
There's quite a lot of doctors, but he
Yeah,
has quite a lot of money.
So we
fuck
gotta
it,
bear in mind
I'm
we're
gonna-
talking
I'm
about
going
Bezos.
to hyperbole there because I don't feel like doing the math on it.
Bezos is yeah, maybe he might then.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos mates has a lot of cash.
Obviously, yeah.
Is the point here?
Fucking hell, this world is mad. Like, let's not get it. Let's not be mean about this, right?
Yeah,
He
it's,
is
no, it's
he is
massive
still
money.
giving 2 billion, right?
Yeah.
Or he's not giving. He's pledging to give 2 billion,
Like, this
which
is the weird thing. Like,
could work
it's a
out as
massive-
more or a lot less.
It's a massive amount of money. The only issue is in the context of Jeff Bezos donating it.
It's not that much.
No.
But the thing is, at what point?
And it depends on how much he's splitting that. Like, is he giving it all to one charity? And if so, what charity is he giving to?
I don't think you give it all to one
Yeah,
charity. I don't think he'll see the point.
I really
yeah,
don't
isn't
think
he
he's giving it
also-
all to one, but
I think he'll probably give like a couple million to each or something, and like spread it over that way.
yeah.
Because like, let's say 5 million to like quite a few charities, it's going to be a pretty substantial amount. Like,
Yeah.
hell, he might give it to a bloody workers' union. Like, well, just in case my workers strike, better keep paying them. Do you know what I find quite impressive though? It wouldn't matter if Amazon's workers strike,
Oh, yeah.
because people would be annoyed with the workers for not being able to have their shit the next day.
Yep.
Oh yeah, people would.
Because people only care about protests when it gets in their way, and they never have a good opinion of workers if they're inconveniencing them.
Yeah.
It's why everyone always complains about unions and workers when trains are closed because of a strike, and not about the company that's causing them to strike and giving them shit conditions.
Oh no, to be fair, sometimes the train company just strikes for the fun of it.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Like, the train unions have like legitimately asked for unreachable goals. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a thing.
Regardless, you still end up with the point that a protest that doesn't inconvenience the public will only get ignored by the public.
Yeah.
And a protest that does inconvenience the public will only earn negative response.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose situation.
It's a bit sucky, really, isn't it? Just,
Yep.
like, Amazon is gonna be a new country, isn't it? Let's be honest.
If it could, I'm sure it would.
Bezland.
I mean, isn't he, like, proposing some sort of really dodgy-sounding school thing now?
Probably. He's suggested the idea of that interactingless convenience shop. As like a new idea, and it's like, you do realise this has been in China for like quite some time now.
He has proposed opening a... Oh, fuck off. I'm trying to read this article and I'm getting shit because I'm ad blocking now.
Do you not just have ad blocker turned on automatically?
No, I'm getting shit because I've got my ad blocker on.
Oh, right, I see.
Shit, so I was trying to read the
And you'll
article.
turn it on and it'll just crash everything.
It hasn't quite crashed, though apparently I could be getting 25 gig of data. What's it? What's this? 20 gigs of 4G data for 20 a month, which is a
That's not the
decent-
worst.
No, it's not a bad deal. Glad I heard about that.
Who's that with?
Oh, for fuck's sake! I need to register to bloody read the rest of the article. Right, where's a better news site? Fucking Telegraph. I'm just trying to read an article. Come on.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah,
my money was on Daily Mail.
They were the first response. Okay, I couldn't be asked. Right, so I'm trying to find the quote now from this article.
Oh, I've just realised I haven't put a picture of Bezos. Oh, I don't think I've got one. I'm just being reminded. I didn't actually get a picture of Bezos, actually. Welp. Oh well. To be fair, he'd probably sue me, so. So can we find out what this shit's about then with the whole?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So basically,
this-
I can only find one goddamn article on it, which is annoying because it's the fucking Telegraph one that it won't let me read.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, actually, shit. No, this might actually be about the 2 billion donation. It might be connected. If I can find an
So
article.
let me get this straight. This 2 billion donation could actually just be to his own charity. Well, that's not suspicious at all, is it?
Right. For fuck's sake, I can't find the exact thing now, but the 2 billion was donated to fund homelessness and improve education. It is a fund he's setting up apparently.
Okay.
The 2 billion will be split between a homeless families fund and an education fund. Which
Okay.
apparently it's gonna make non-profit preschools, which is interesting.
Why preschools?
I don't know. What I can't find out.
Why not a
is the
non-profit
origin behind
university?
this- What I can't find is the origin behind this quote that I'm seeing on the Telegraph.
Which
I'm
is?
trying to find an article on. That Jeff apparently wants to open schools where the child will be the customer,
Oh my god.
which is
Oh.
possibly the dodgiest thing for a billionaire that's made his money off an online store to say. Like we are getting that
To be fair, that could be interpreted
We-
many,
we are
many
getting
ways.
we are getting that customer employee pipeline set up from the fucking preschool level now.
That could be a good idea. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think that could be a good idea.
As I know, man, he's okay. So according to the Telegraph, this fund to fund and open preschools and stuff, will be run on the same set of principles that have driven Amazon.
Oh,
I think your mic was just
Presumably
like.
Yeah.
that the teachers will
Wakey,
not
your
allow
mic's dying.
access- Oh no!
think you're fine now. Talk again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sick.
That response or just, oh no. That was like,
Yeah, so it's been run on the same principles that have driven Amazon, which presumably means that the teachers won't be allowed bathroom breaks and will be kept in a small cage with little arms to move things.
oh, Adam's left.
Yeah, one minute, we're dragging Adam out of AFK.
No, yeah,
In unrelated Bezos news, people dug up an old proposed copyright thing from an old patent from 2006, 2008, no, 16, I think,
Yeah.
of the Amazon worker cage.
What?
It was
That's gotta be bullshit.
The patent was filed in 2016, but it was never brought anywhere. It was declared as a bad idea by the executives, apparently.
Really?
Yeah,
wonder
apparently
why.
that is where they draw the line. However, there were some wonderful memes about it, including possibly my favourite line I've heard from 4chan in a while: "Wagey, wagey, get in the cagey."
Oh, fucking hell.
Because if anyone's going to be smug about Amazon workers getting shit conditions, it's the goddamn neats.
Jesus. Oh, shit. We have, breaking news.
Oh, breaking news.
So we now have, our breaking news fucking
Has
thing.
war been declared?
No, not quite. So
Oh,
the Florence has been downgraded, but she's claimed 3 lives, which is the hurricane in America, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's claimed 3 lives, one of which was, or 2 of which, should I say? Sorry, is a mother and a child. 600,000 homes have been left without power in the Carolinas. So it's north and south, isn't it? Right. Yeah, this is. Yeah,
Also,
can we talk
actually,
about the amount of fucking hurricanes America seems to be getting?
Yeah.
But
funny
actually, on
thing
the
that,
topic of
climate
hurricanes,
change.
it just reminded me of something that I was reading about this one
I
little
mean-
comment that apparently they didn't evacuate prisoners in the danger zone.
Oh yeah, no. After Prison Show has covered this story. Go check him out. What's his name? Fucking is it Dave? Not Dave.
What?
Check
Okay,
out After
apparently-
Prison Show. It's great.
Apparently, like last year, over 1,000 prisoners died in a hurricane because they were just left like.
Yeah,
So
in the flooding that ensued after the hurricane, they drowned to death in the
Wow.
prisons. Yeah, because
The American
because
prison system is even more immoral than I already thought it was.
no, because there
Modern
wasn't enough
slavery-
money to remove them out of the prisons.
Not enough money. They ran for
Oh.
a fucking profit. How do they not have the money to evacuate?
Because it wasn't
Okay.
economically feasible to evacuate people.
Okay, nice. So not only are they, not only are they
fucking
funding
love
modern
America.
slavery, they're also just leaving people to die because it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Pretty much.
Well, okay, Bezos, you're off the hook this time. You're no longer my most despised enterprise in America. That is definitely their
That-
fucking prison system.
Yeah. No. Check out After Prison Show. He has released. I think it was a video like today. Actually, he released it on. On the flooding.
Prisons in America are allowed to sue states in some states if they're not kept at a big enough capacity.
Wait, what?
Yep, because a lot of prisons
Yep.
are independently run and run for a profit, they are allowed to sue a state if they fall too low below their quota, which is roughly like 75% full, which is why America has a massive prison overcrowding problem. And a massive problem with profiling and unjust arrests.
Oh, also, woman has died after a lorry. Just honestly, Sky News is just amazing today. A woman has died after a lorry has crashed into her house in Barnsley.
Sorry, where was that in?
Barnsley.
Cut out.
Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Oh, that's horrible.
Which means that's the second person to die in Barnsley this month.
Yeah. Wait, second person to die in Barnsley?
That's a chuckle.
I'm sorry. The little gap. You know, that was like a comma's worth of a gap after you said Barnsley. And I was like, what? Like ever? There's only ever been 2 people that have died.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Just this month, other people have died in Barnsley, but
Quite a
Yeah,
few
sorry,
people have
no,
died in
it's last-
Barnsley.
It was the little pause you gave that just threw me then for a
I'm
second.
pretty sure Barry Chuckle were last month, not this month.
Was it last month? Fucking hell. Wow, yeah. This is the first life to be claimed this month in Barnsley, then.
That we know of. You know, we're
That's
not here
the
reading the
considered
Barnsley
news.
obituary.
Anyway, yeah, so let's get back to the whole storm shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Shit. Let's get back to the storm shit. The fuck is happening like with the world? Like, it just seems to be like, is it just like I'm getting older and shit? I'm like just noticing the news more. Like, we're just getting a shitload more. Like-
Part that, part it's the force of every climate scientist in the world going, we fucking told you.
Well, yeah, that too, but still.
We've been saying for years now that it was only going to get worse. America has just been having worse and worse cases of extreme weather. They always had problems with it, but those have been massively exacerbated by climate change. At this point, it's like probably too late at this point, we're fucked.
We're fucked. Is that your solution? Just like, there is no solution.
Honestly, we could do everything we could to just completely rectify everything. Like, we could, just fucking shut down everything that's massively harmful to the environment. We could completely revamp everything.
Just genocide all the cows.
Motherfucker, it probably wouldn't be enough at this point. I don't think we could feasibly do enough to reverse the damage we've done.
Yeah, because if
to
it's
a
not,
safe
if
level.
it's not like global warming, it's fucking toxic water in Flint or toxic water in the ocean because we just give it plastic for dinner.
Yep. Long story short, there's probably a bunch of major companies that are to blame.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, no, sorry.
To be fair, with the plastic thing, a bunch of the major
Yeah.
companies have been taking responsibility. So Coca-Cola has now introduced a recycling initiative.
Fair point.
Basically, all the adverts I'm seeing for Coca-Cola right now are just recycle your Coca-Cola bottle.
Oh, that's great. Here's the thing though, it's not actually domestic waste.
What do you mean it's not
People,
domestic waste?
Like, as in, essentially, your average person combined
Yeah.
doesn't actually contribute that much to climate change.
No, I mean the
or
plastic
general
in the water.
pollution. Yeah, pollution in general as well.
I
It
mean,
is
me having a
is
Coke kind of contributes to pollution if I don't throw it in the bin. Like, if I don't throw it in the recycle bin, sorry.
Not on a global scale, though.
I mean, if a lot of people did the same, it's going to contribute.
I'm pretty sure it still works out that let's face it, 2 public buses worth of executives are still about 90% of the problem. Like, those 2 busloads of people are responsible for most of this.
Who's driving this busload of people? Is it Bezos?
Yeah, Big B.
Big B's driving the bus.
Yeah, Big B.
Big B's driving the bus. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's mostly the
Who's collecting tickets? Who's checking for tickets on this bus?
I'd say it's mostly oil industry, but also stuff like large companies like corporations like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but Coca-Cola, like I say, has been admitting that they have a problem with it. So, like, I'm giving Coca-Cola a pass on this.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They're admitting they've got a problem, but that's not changing the fact they still did damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coca-Cola was actually like one of the leading lobbyists behind the whole sugar tax as well, from what I remember.
Makes sense.
I
I
think it was because they wanted to push Diet Coke, but that's not the point.
Yeah. What's it? I mean,
Apparently Diet Coke sales were down or something, so like, fuck it, let's tax the people.
the issue is, and the thing you see a lot, is that, companies and the government try and push it as an individual act. Like, each person affects it. When in reality, the amount that each person affects, the amount that every person affects, is minuscule compared to what major companies affect.
Yeah.
And that, let's face it, recycling initiatives don't fucking matter.
Well, they do, because recycling initiatives kind of impact large corporations too.
They do, but not to the degree...
No, seriously, like, The Fear Index by Robert Harris, I think I've shelved this book before, but, like... So, the company he owns was a paperless office company. There are a lot of companies out there like that, where, like, they will find their workers if they have paper on the property.
I think still it just comes down to the amount of waste produced by large companies in production.
Maybe.
That's going to go on regardless of how much Linda and Shrewsbury, fucking recycles her bottles. And it's not going to get stopped unless someone forces them to, because they still value their short-term profit over, the planet not killing everyone.
To be fair, I think that's changed a lot recently. I think people have generally accepted, like, corporations of that. Well, shit, we're kind of not going to have a planet if we don't stop.
I mean, the oil industry still exists, so I'm going to say not every corporation.
Yeah, but the oil industry isn't horrendous in itself. It's what we do with the oil. All they do is just burn it, alright? Which is actually better for the environment, by the way. Releasing pure methane is really bad. Yeah, so setting fire to, like, the excess gas is better for the environment. How does that make you feel?
You heard it here first, folks. Burn your excess gas.
Yeah. No, it's just to do with, like, how fucking radiation works with, like, the atmosphere and stuff. Which is, kind of important to the whole, everything breaking down and shit hitting the fan. Yeah. Don't get methane. It's why they say cows is such a big issue. Because, like, they just produce a shitload of methane.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
we need to get the GMO guys on the way to make cows less toxic to the planet. Then I guess.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm sort of like cutting down on the amount of beef I eat, or trying to at least. Like, I still enjoy a nice burger every now and again. It's like because cows are pretty bad. I'm like, I kind of don't want to be a part of that shit. But I'm like, I'll still eat a steak because like it doesn't matter every now and again, I guess, does it?
Well, no, if you eat the cows, then they die. It means that more cows have to die to replace the meat.
Yeah, but one person doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
that's always the issue. One person doesn't matter.
So I'm very much in the mindset that you shouldn't cut meat out of your diet. I'm very much in the mindset you should cut down the amount of meat in your diet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to we have a culture that just worships like food.
Yeah.
Like fast food especially. Like people eat way more than they should. And again, who are the big culprits here?
McDonald's.
I mean,
Burger
no, I
King.
just mean like
part of the issue comes from the fact that
no, McDonald's is pretty bad for like.
I just mean like as a general like group of people,
I was gonna
like
say,
the
like,
wealthy and the amount that like they tend to eat.
Well, no, I
Doing
think
things
the actual
no,
figures are poor people eat more than wealthy people. Like
Oh, yeah, well, that's the thing, really, right? So, poor people eat more
they
because,
just eat lesser quality, which is worse
yeah,
for the
poor people
environment.
have, on average, poor people will have much less time to prepare food because of working harsher hours.
Yeah.
They'll have less money, so they'll have a lot less options in terms of what to get in terms of healthy food options and effective food options. Which is why statistically, poor people are much more likely to eat at fast food places.
Yeah.
Because it's low price and doesn't require effort on their part because they don't have the time to prepare meals.
Although I do have to say, you say poor people work less hours, work more hours. Sorry. I remember on average, yeah, that's true. I remember seeing a documentary by the BBC though about a stockbroker in London, where he worked like 20-hour days every day and had like 4 hours sleep.
Okay, well, that, quite frankly, should never be allowed. What the fuck?
He lived off of like energy drinks.
I'm honest, man.
But he had like
it's
specific
like-
times at what time he'd take energy drinks and like energy tablets.
I'm not gonna lie. The idea of someone that works 20 hours a week and sleeps 4.
No, 20 hours a day.
It's 20 hours a day, I mean. I would say he would, you know, if you told me by the end of that week he stabbed his boss to death with a spoon.
He
I
was
would
his
say that's
boss.
Perfectly reasonable.
He was his own boss.
Was he choosing to work those hours?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Because
Why
he
you
can
can't
make
do
more
that to
money.
yourself?
Because he can make more money if he wasn't asleep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. To be fair though, the
Honestly,
amount of
it's
money he
fucking
made, I
rude
could
as
kind of
people.
understand it. It's just... He also had a kid, by the way.
That's not healthy. That is so not healthy.
Yeah,
mentally
I know.
and physically. Holy shit. The fact it's even like
This guy was a
expected-
single dad, right? So what I don't understand is how fucking bad must the mother be
How
for him to
fucking
get
bad-
custody?
I feel so fucking sorry for the kid in that situation. Like,
Do you know, I don't. Because I think for the most part the kid's going to have like maybe a nanny or whatever to look after him, yeah?
I know. Having
I feel
your-
sorry for the dad for not spending time with the kid.
Well, I feel sorry for the kid for the fact that, you know, he's only got one parent taking care of him, and that one parent is living an insanely self-destructive lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, that is horrifying.
You just imagine him being up 20 hours a day and sleeping 4.
Quite frankly, either of those that is a fucking horrifying concept.
Do
Holy shit.
you want me to make it even worse for you?
Oh, please do. Just
Do
go
you know
for it
you know
now.
when the US Marines go through like their basic training?
Yep.
They
poor
get
bastards.
They get 4 hours sleep for the week.
Oh, nice. So I feel even more sorry for people that get conned into joining the army. Nice.
Well, no, these are the Marines. It's like the army get. I hesitate to say reasonable hours sleep, but
Marines, army. Look, it's the same bunch of people hanging out at fucking high schools in America, offering free free college to people that are willing to join the army for a few years. And
To be
potentially
fair,
get murdered for
I
the
actually
sake of
don't think it's that
America
bad.
getting money.
I think that's quite a sweet deal. Free college for doing a couple, doing a tour with the army. That's pretty good.
The issue is that it targets people of lower income, and essentially tries to acquire a bunch of, to the country overall, somewhat exposable soldiers that are only there because they want to pursue a higher education but can't for economic reasons because America's a shithole for that.
Yeah, but look at it in a less cynical point of view. You're doing
just
your part
really
for the country, and your country's rewarding you for it.
You see, my issue is that I don't see that as doing your part. I see that as being caught in a predatory system. I don't see that anything honourable really about being forced to join the army in order to get.
Yeah, but
good
you're not
education.
necessarily forced. It's just a case of they're offering you a position, saying, "Hey, you do this with us,
Yeah,
we'll
but
help you
it's-
out."
Especially in the context of America, it's either you join the army and potentially suffer horrible things there, or you drown in debt for the rest of your life.
True. But it's like people don't generally die in the battlefield. Like they still die, but like deaths on battlefield
Yeah.
are a lot down. What my issue is the amount of mental illness that comes from.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, severe mental illness, being forced to do horrible things for your country, the whole shebang there. Yeah, I don't see.
So you wouldn't join Her Majesty's Armed Forces for free college?
There is nothing that could get me to commit treason against this country faster than a conscription.
Really?
I would sooner betray this country than conscript.
Even in times of
Be
war?
conscripted. Yes.
Huh.
It's why I'm heavily against the idea of conscription, because I know that I would never willingly serve my country if I was forced to,
What about you, Ryan?
and I would. It was very
Yeah,
unlikely
no,
that
I'm
I'd
probably
join
with
willingly.
Tommy.
See, in principle, I think conscription's stupid. Don't work.
Yeah, like don't forget, mate. Most of the time we have an international thing with another country, I assume we're in the wrong just because it's us.
Maybe.
Like I have very little faith in this country being in the right side of things.
See, I think that's a bit cynical. I think
Oh, it definitely is.
in times of war, you shouldn't have to sacrifice personal liberties. You should never have to sacrifice personal liberties. But I think in times of war, in extreme war, you do.
I mean, yeah, the people that do, you know, they are doing a massive amount and getting so little in return. Definitely.
But it's
I
like,
could just never
I
see
am
myself doing that.
extremely pro free speech, right? Like, I'm sure most people will know this. But I am okay with censorship in times of war. Because I know in the long run it'll keep the people freer. Because if you're at war with someone... Let's just turn the breaking news off, because I don't actually have breaking news anymore. There we go. So, if you're at times of war, like you're at war with a country, and you have newspapers dishing out, you know, pro-enemy propaganda, you're not gonna be winning the war in the moral, you know, in a morale kind of standpoint, are you?
My only issue with that is that presumes that we're on the right side of things.
You really have no patriotism, do you?
No, I have no fucking sense of patriotism at all.
Patriotism can suck a dick.
Wow! I kind of hope conscription starts now.
The most patriotic thing I could say is that I don't think I could manage to live in another country, but that's because I'm a sheltered white boy that can't stand change.
Wow. You know, I don't know, if the system was less predatory, which it is, it definitely is in the US. It's not necessarily in the UK, it's not that bad.
If the system was less predatory, I'd regard it as people that are willing to be that are incredibly selfless. And
So,
willing to
in
put
the
themselves
UK,
at risk for-
if you want to join
However-
the army, you can join the army, but you can also go to
Yeah.
university first, do like a university course in like specific subjects, and join the army as an officer.
Yeah.
Like, that incentivizes education before military,
Yeah.
which I think's a decent
Now,
idea.
I'm pretty sure even here you can still get free.
Yeah, you can. My cousin did it.
University. I know a couple of friends that have gone with that option.
Yeah, so he joined the army at like some age. Fuck knows how old he actually is. I think he was in the band or something, and then spent a good long time with them, and then left the army and is now having his university paid for him. Like he's doing computer science at Leeds, I think.
I understand why people would do it. It makes sense financially that like why they would do it.
But from what I remember, he didn't ask them to do that.
Yeah.
He was going to leave, and they went, "Do you want to go to university? Like, do you want us to integrate you more into society or something?" So it's more of like a leaving thing with us. It's not a case of
Yeah, I definitely.
you have to join the army to pay for university.
I think definitely over here because like I'd like to say we've got a better system as far as student loans as well.
I don't know.
It's less harsh just because of the way that we handle it.
I personally
felt
think
like
a government having this much control over university is kind of dangerous, but
Yeah,
that's just
worrying.
me.
It shouldn't be anywhere near high of a cost as it is really.
No, it should be. Universities are pretty expensive to run.
They are. the issue is that I'd at least like to think we're less of a predatory loan system than say America is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
In a way,
we are.
I think
There's no
definitely
thought there at all.
in the UK it's much less of a predatory system because not only do we have a great deal less in terms of the financial aspect.
Yeah.
And the impact.
To be fair, what I found is the student finance dicks over rich people more than it does poor people over here.
Yeah, because especially because you only start paying once you have to over a certain income anyway.
It's not even just that. I mean, at university, like when you start university, like if you come from a richer background, you get less student loan.
Because you get
Yeah,
less
I was
on
gonna
the
say, it's
maintenance
not-
grant
But
because
there's
they-
no guarantee that your parents are going to provide for you while you're at university.
Oh, definitely.
We're going to say
Like,
the
see,
problem
I'll
is with
freely admit I'm
basically
doing
lower
this.
middle class.
I have essentially got the reverse going because my family are like middle class at best, so I get a decent amount from my maintenance grant. But my rich a rich granddad I've got gave me a decent chunk of money at the start of my first year,
Yeah.
which is helping substitute my maintenance grant a lot of the time. So I'm sort of the reverse end of that system where it's, I'm getting the best of both, which is a bit shit.
It's like what you'll find at university is,
Sort of-
quite interestingly, the people who come from richer backgrounds are the ones who've generally got a job.
Yeah, that's how it works out.
Well, I mean,
really.
well, the thing is,
It's not the ideal system.
backgrounds. It's not.
But
The thing is, it's the case of it's the lower middle class, to.
It's not, it's middle class. Lower middle class get a fair bit of loan.
I mean, they don't.
No,
they-
it's
they
around
only
there
get so much.
where it really cuts off. That's where it starts to cut off, and they're the groups where the parents generally don't pay for them. As you get to upper middle class, and obviously in the sense of the actual.
Yeah, when they're actually loaded, and it's like, well,
Well, I mean, there's a couple of people from my course who are foreign exchange students or whatever you call them, and they're from Dubai.
Oh,
And, well,
okay.
it's safe to say they have a pretty comfortable time.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, it doesn't cover
because
everything.
they're bear in mind they're from Dubai where everyone is rich now. From what I've heard, apparently they get every meal they have just delivered to their house.
That can't be healthy.
No, not as in takeaway. They get actual meals just cooked and delivered to them. Apparently, they're super rich. They're like I say, they're from Dubai.
I mean, to be fair, that's just you get a guy who can cook, hire them, and get a taxi to pick it up from their house.
I mean, that might be what we do. I'm just going off rumour here.
Yeah.
That's not actually that
Yeah,
expensive. That's probably cheaper than a takeaway.
I know what I'm saying. It's
Probably.
they are super. I mean, like I said, again, stress. They're from Dubai, where everyone's a millionaire.
Not everyone's a millionaire in Dubai.
I don't know, I
The
think all
average person is a millionaire.
I think all the non-millionaires got priced out.
Oh, it's fine. Rio is an interesting place when it comes to millionaire club. So, in Rio, if your ship's too small, you can't enter.
Wait, doesn't Rio also
Rio
have a
is in
massive
Rio
problem
de
with
Janeiro.
Yeah, Rio is in Rio de Janeiro.
Doesn't Rio also have a massive problem with slums?
Yeah.
The
God, I love
favelas.
that, everyone is either.
We're gonna say just look at
on
the Rio
average-
Olympics.
So I think it's if your boat is under 16 foot, you're not allowed to enter the harbour.
On average, the average person in Rio has an average amount of money, but that's because every person in Rio
Is loaded or
is,
really poor.
poor or insanely rich.
Yeah, we're
Not
gonna say it's
Best system, but
obviously it's two halves of one city. All you need to do is look at footage from the Rio Olympics. Obviously,
oh god,
we've
yeah,
got
that
the
was a
Olympic
travesty.
Stadium that was right basically on the border between the rich side and the favelas, and you just had the stadium just looming over shanty towns.
Yeah, it's really bad. That just exemplified the problem that Rio has so much.
Where's the next Olympics then? Is it Japan?
Oh gosh, I think it's Japan. Yeah, don't know when.
I don't know. I was gonna say Russia, but that was the World Cup.
Wait,
when we
was
just
the World
started
Cup this
it.
year?
Yeah, what colour is this
Yeah.
year?
So I
It'll be in
remember
2 years, won't it?
Yeah.
The next Olympics.
watching
20.
Berlin. That was fun.
Where's the World Cup next?
I don't know. Someone look it up. I'll look it up.
Because the only thing I remember about the World Cup is the last time a World Cup was on, I was looking around universities.
It's that who is hosting the who is hosting the 2022?
Yeah, we're 2022.
And is football
Uh,
coming home this time?
Actually, wait. We didn't want the World Cup. Why am I looking at the World Cup? We wanted the
No,
Olympics.
we were asking about the World Cup. I'm pretty sure Olympics is Japan.
Because Ryan, football is coming
No,
home.
oh yeah, no. The World Cup, that's an obvious one. That's Qatar because there was loads of controversy about it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
remember, people wanted
I
to
don't-
change it to winter because Qatar gets really hot in summer.
I don't pay attention to football news. I must have missed that. Sorry.
But it's okay, Wakey, because football is coming home next time.
I mean, I don't
It's
pay
coming
attention to
home.
football news.
It is
either.
coming home,
Uh,
Ryan.
Look, I'm just glad that the World Cup's over and I can go back to assuming anyone with
Oh,
an
yeah,
England
it is
flag on their
indeed.
house is a racist.
I don't like this stuff that we've got nowadays. You're not allowed to fly a flag in the UK.
It's because
No.
it's because the majority of people that fly the English flag on their house tend to be it's like it's because it became associated with them outside of it being the World Cup.
Yeah, but I love the idea of flying a flag in like my garden,
Yeah, I know.
and I have
fine, you can.
absolutely no problem with who the fuck my neighbours are. Hell, I'd fly their flag as well if they want.
Try and reclaim that if you can. It's just it's sort of associated at this point with a bunch of people.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the United Nations flag in my back garden. Like every flag from the United Nations. You know, like they got that flag porch thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to have that in my garden.
No, dude, you should have that proposed EU flag. That's just all the EU.
Oh my god, it's just like a bunch of lines.
Oh
That
god.
is possibly the worst design flag I've ever seen. No
One minute,
offense
let's
to the
get
guy
this
who made
let's
it.
get this flag up because people
I mean,
need
like-
to see this.
And then
Would
you
you
can
like
get an
to-
actually good, like, United flag. United Scandinavia. It's the Scandinavian cross, but with a yellow background.
EU rejected flag. All right, boys, here we go. This is an image for one of the EU rejected flags. Bear with me. Let me just like main web search. There we go. That is one of the images. That is a thing. Where's the UK on that?
Where are you posting this to? Oh, there we go. Wait,
I
shut-
think it's only the initial
Ooh.
EU member states. It might not be on there.
Oh no, I found
Oh.
out we're next to Russia.
Nice.
We're attached to Russia.
Ew.
As usual.
Yeah, so Russia's there-ish. 1 minute, Russia's
Uh,
like
you
there, and so they're where
don't-
that's
oh,
us.
Kyle, you don't have cursor capture on.
I should.
So you're saying there-ish, and it's like, where?
Ah, shit. Right, there we go. So it's there-ish. No, it's not. There we go. It's because I hadn't like clicked on the window. There we go. Let's click on the window.
Oh wait, is that all like,
So that'd be Russia.
there we go.
So that might be us. Maybe. Maybe. I don't have a fucking clue. God, that's a horribly designed flag.
Yeah. Quite as rejected, probably.
Yeah, probably. It's on r/crappy designs, so probably.
Definitely.
I mean, I searched in rejected flags, so.
I mean, like, it's on the internet, so it could be false, but like.
I don't think it is, though. The EU is that stupid.
I mean, it is, and we've already discussed that, but like,
Yeah. Should we
probably
go?
worth taking it with like a grain of salt.
Like, I want to know who made that idea, and this is a good idea for a flag. This is a good concept.
Probably Yonko or Yonko. Because he's just an idiot.
Hmm.
Should we get on to the next story, or the final story? The thing that is cause for our for our thumbnail. It's only taken us two and like a half hours to get here.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish off with a good tradition of this show.
So
Fights with Russia.
so Russia's taken a page out of Hosier's book.
What? They disappeared off into the woods for 4 years?
No, they want to be taken to church.
Clarify, please.
So, Russia, right? You know how they sent these two agents, right, to massacre one of our.
Allegedly.
There's no allegedly about it. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing that Boris Johnson's doing, because that way they have to come to this country.
You have enough issues with me saying shit. Don't go starting a fight with Russia.
I'm not starting a fight with Russia. I've got no issue with Russia. I have issue with the government.
Right.
Russia is an acceptable country. It's a lovely size. You know, there's a lot of different, diverse.
It's
things.
a lovely size.
It's a lovely
Actually,
size.
I definitely argue that Russia's size has caused significant economic and social issues in the country before. But continue.
Wakey. Don't worry about it. It's not a concern. Don't worry about it. So essentially, the two spies or the two civilians of Russia have said they only came to the to Salisbury to see the cathedral. So let's just get a bit of Big Sal Cathedral up here. Alright,
Oh, Big Sal.
Big Sal Cathedral, obviously. I kind of love the reaction that Twitter's had, just taking the piss out of them.
Well, nice to see Twitter is getting in on this then.
So one of them was, I think it was like the MP for the area, was like, yeah, I mean, I love the cathedral, you know, and I love bringing like enough Novichok to kill a guy when I go visit the cathedral and just visit for 2 days. Like,
Wait, so it has been proven these guys had Novichok on them? I'm not up to date with this story. I only
Yes
heard
and
the-
no.
Right.
So there is enough evidence to suspect that they are highly likely of having Novichok on them,
Okay, yeah, this is a pretty
But-
weak excuse.
without sampling them as they were committing the crime. We wouldn't know.
Makes sense.
So their official statement is we came to visit the cathedral, which is why they stopped in a hotel out of town, came in one day, and then left the next,
Was there ever any
without
proof
going
that
to the
this-
cathedral.
Yeah, that is a really shit story. This really feels like they just Googled Salisbury and was like, right, what excuse could we have for being here?
To be fair, the cathedral is quite a big tourist spot, so it's
It is.
on a scale of Russia's excuses from the past, not bad. It's an acceptable excuse.
Yeah.
However, more interestingly about the story is Bozjoz, obviously, Boris Johnson. You know, it's clearly who Bozjoz is, right? Is said to them, "You are murderers," and just essentially said to them, "Please sue us."
Fucking
He
Bojo.
just went to Russia and went, "No balls won't do it, you murderers."
As an official statement, I'd like to say that Boris Johnson, regardless of whether or not he is paid to speak for this country, does not speak for this country.
No, he does, because that means that if they sue him, they have to come into British territory, which means we can arrest them.
As I just said, regardless of the fact that he's paid to speak for this country, he does not speak for this country.
No, it's a ridiculously good political move.
It is, but it's also the political equivalent of going no balls won't do it.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point. Because they might just be stupid enough to try and sue him. And if they do, we've got two lawsuits. One against him for defamation, and then another with them in jail. And I think basically what Bozjoz has done here is like, well, I'll take one for the team, right? Just by saying no balls won't do it.
So what Bogo's done is
Yeah.
his usual move here of
Just saying random shit that pops into his head.
what he's done is done his usual strategy of do shit that makes it look like you're a fucking idiot to hide the actual goal you've got there.
Oh no, Boris Johnson is legitimately a genius when it comes to politics.
Yeah,
He's just an idiot with what he says.
he's fucking great. At this point, I'm
No, he
starting to
thinks
think
that-
that
the
he's
thing is,
just
he
created
thinks
this
about
image
what-
of a bumbling fool.
Yeah, but that's
so
kind of the
people
point.
don't take him
Yeah, no, he
seriously.
has. No,
Yeah.
like he thinks carefully about what he says to make sure he
He's an
sounds like an
insidious
idiot.
But he tries to
bastard
appeal
act
to the
like
average
an
man.
idiot.
And I think
Yeah,
he
I was gonna
does
say,
quite
he
well.
wants to sound like an idiot because people
Yeah.
might take him seriously for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an insidious bastard that hides himself as the village idiot.
But no, he solved the Heathrow problem before it was even a thing, but then got that idea rejected, which is now being active, by the way, is an actual thing that's resurfaced. It's like, well, okay, fair enough. I think I solved this while I was Mayor of London. But you know, no balls won't do it. It's a valid strategic tactic in politics, apparently. But no, I urge you to just check out the memes that have come up because of this. It's genuinely beautiful. And all I have to say is I fucking love this country.
Well,
To be honest though, the Kremlin has officially said that they will question the two men.
nice.
But basically the entire world's gone, yeah, your claim about the cathedral is just absolutely absurd bullshit.
Well, at the very least, those two individuals are likely to get,
Good luck
arrested
time.
at least.
But no, I kind of hope. At the end of the day, they can't move country now, right?
Yeah.
They can't do anything. They're stuck in Russia for the rest of their life.
And that's if Russia don't give them up to save face to the rest of the world.
Yeah. Because every other EU country has said, yeah, we'll arrest them on site and then just expedite them to you. Until we leave Brexit, like we leave Europe with the whole Brexit situation, in which case it might not be happening still. But I kind of feel like every country's going to go, yeah, chemical weapons? Let's fucking expedite them.
I'd like to think the rest of the EU wouldn't like the idea of people suspected of chemical weapon crimes.
France, Germany,
Yeah.
and I know Denmark's not part of the EU, but it's part of the single market, and Denmark will. like without fail. Just because they are like France Emmanuel Macron is very much against the idea of chemical weapons, and so it's like in every way like this is like against everything I stand for way. So I know for a fact Macron will. So I think I think France has got it back. Germany is a case of, well, we kind of need to make up for what we did last time with chemical weapons, so let's probably expedite them. But no, from what it seems like, those three countries are the ones that got our back the strongest.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, thanks. At least someone's got us back in this godforsaken world. There are other countries, obviously. Interestingly, Kazakhstan was, I think we spoke about this last week, Kazakhstan was one that was sort of like on the fence, and it's like, I'm surprised you're not pro-Russia. So, yay Kazakhstan, yeah. They were very much, they wanted more evidence, but it's like, that's fair, alright, that's fine, I can accept that.
It's more so that they don't instantly assume that we are definitely telling the truth about all this.
It's worth noting as well, not all British public believes that they did it, right? But one things that we have in our favour in the government, in Britain are, our police system isn't run by the government, and there is always an independent crime commissioner that sets, boundaries and guidelines for the police service. They are only funded by the government. They aren't, everything they do is independent of the government, because that's kind of what the Magna Carta was about. Everyone in the country can be tried, including the king. So that's why we have, it is part of our constitution to have an independent criminal service. So that whole thing where America's like, we got this cool ass constitution. It's like, yo, you've got a nicer one, mate. It makes sense and kind of protects the civilians a bit more. But no, it's an interesting one. I don't know if anything's gonna happen. Like I said this last week, I don't know if anything's actually gonna happen with this Novichok incident.
I suppose that we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
But it's more things seem to be happening like every day. It's like, actually, shit, this could go somewhere. If we keep saying no balls won't do it to Russia, so I want you to hashtag no balls won't do it and then tag Russia's Twitter account, because Russia's obviously got a Twitter account right here. And let's get that fucker in this country. Like, I'm not saying he's guilty, because he's only been, like, there's only an arrest out for his warrant. Or their warrant, should I say. Alright? They're not guilty by the law of England. You're innocent until proven so.
Fucking hell.
What?
I'm just looking at the fact that your solution to this is just to get a bunch of people on Twitter to go hashtag no balls won't do it.
It's worked before.
That doesn't mean it's not a ridiculous idea.
Oh, it's a ridiculous idea, right? But in the same sense of Boris Johnson, just daring them to sue him. It's kind of genius.
I mean, it does demonstrate that we are, a modern Britain, We're not a country of stiff upper lip. We're a country of no balls won't do it. Come on.
We really are. That's the thing. I mean, we've still got the stiff upper lip, but it's like, the stiff upper lip is we will continue to say no balls won't do it until you do it.
Do it.
Jesus. We're probably going to get absolute just flack from the feminists now, just like...
I don't actually know where no balls won't do it came from.
Nor do I.
I swear to God, like, unironically...
It seems to be popping up quite a lot frequently, though, so I'm like, we've got to be hip with it.
Before that Town of Salem game we did in the summer, I hadn't heard anyone say that before.
Really?
And now it's like a very common phrase in my vocabulary, and I don't know how this has happened.
Oh dear.
It's fault.
No, I used to hear it a lot at home. Like,
really?
Yeah, this is quite a common phrase from where I'm from.
I've honestly never heard that, and it's become a thing now.
It's one of them schoolyard things that you hear. It's like, as far as Judd heard of it, like, didn't he go to a private school or some shit?
Oh. You forget.
Judd went to a private school.
The years worth of like fucking setup on these people.
Oh yeah, you're a plebby second. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, does that mean I'm okay? So this year, does that mean I'm allowed to be even more annoyed at freshers?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you're doing a master's, right?
Yep.
You have every excuse to be annoyed at freshers.
Because I kind of want to go do Freshers Week this year.
On the
I didn't do
plus
it
side-
last week. Yeah, last year.
On the plus side, you're notably older than them, so they'll probably scatter the second they see you.
I'm not that much older.
No, but you're doing a master's, and
Yeah, but you don't know what degree someone's doing, do
Yeah.
you?
you can definitely tell by the way that you like present yourself during Freshers Week. That
Oh,
you're
what?
not
Because I've got a bit of decorum. Like, that makes me.
You're in a bit of decorum. You look. You're probably gonna look generally grumpy at being freshers, and if you're not, you won't look like a fresher, so they'll probably fucking scatter. On
No,
sight.
the thing is, right, I will because I fucking love going out around towns and shit.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm planning on going down with freshers as well. Get that free shit.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going Freshers Week. Like, I'm going to the
Yeah.
fairs and shit because that's just a given.
I
Free
left-
Dominoes is pretty decent, right?
I left my collection of fabric bags I got from various shit last year.
Oh, I'm
until
taking an
they
80
stopped.
litre. I'm taking an 80 litre hiking bag. And if that's not filled up by the end of the day, I'm going to be disappointed.
Nice.
It's fine. Amazon last year were giving out free Krispy Kremes, just by stopping by their store.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm going to Society's Fair because I've already signed up to mine, but I may as well.
I
anyway.
haven't, and I don't know what I want to sign up to this year. Because I'm
Yeah.
genuinely not sure if I want to start with tabletop again, because I don't know if I can be bothered with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I
trying
said
tabletop.
I said to tabletop, I will sign up to give you my money,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they'll actually show up.
I'm signing up because I'm probably gonna be at the card game stuff we used to do if we still do it. And
To be honest,
that's
I'm
technically
thinking of
only-
cashing out like pretty soon in this
Yeah.
game anyway. Because like I just
Makes sense.
I don't know. I don't seem to be enjoying it. Like
Yeah.
I think
mean,
I think with me, unless I'm doing something competitive, a high level of competitive play, I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I can understand that perspective.
And I don't get that from tabletop. I also don't get it from locals because it's just ridiculously expensive. So
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
tabletop
so,
plays
like,
at a much more casual level. To be honest,
First
like,
year it used to be like, I'm sure it was only like £3.
yeah, it was. And then they put it up for some reason. Apparently because
Yeah,
the
it's
price
weird
support
how-
got better, but it got
it's
worse.
weird how high it's got now. Because like, I signed up for games as well just because of a May as well, in case it gets better this year.
Okay, so tabletop. You know about tabletop? You're on about store.
Well, they're both like £8 now.
Well, tabletop started off at being
Well, no,
£5 because the original
no.
membership, the original membership insurance was £5, so it made it around even 10.
Yeah.
I say like all the sites, I think they've been put on a limit. Like all the sites now, of you have to be.
You've
uh,
got to
at
charge
least
something.
£8. You know, I think
I know
it has
you've.
to be
I know
at
they
least
have a
£8
minimum
now.
charge because Free Speech wanted
Yeah.
to charge nothing but had to charge something.
I say the only way you can do free is if it's like classed as like an actual support
Like a charity type thing.
society, or well, no, say they don't do societies. Like I can't remember what they're called, but I know Amnesty is one. But
Well, so like maybe LGBT as well, they'd be.
Yeah,
LGBT is a good example because you don't have to pay for membership apparently, from what I've heard.
They apparently
Uh,
provide quite a lot of support for their members though.
yeah,
So like,
and it,
shout out to them.
seems-
Isn't
seems
that
like
why
a
they're not
crucial
counted as
thing,
society
like-
anymore? Because they don't charge or some shit.
Not a
I
clue.
don't know, but apparently fetish as well. Like you don't have to pay for.
To be fair, from what I've heard from
Yeah.
Fetish, they're also kind of doing what LGBT do and like sort of make people feel a bit more confident in themselves and shit.
Yeah, like
I
think
don't
that's
know.
the
I don't know
whole
what it's all
point of
about. I am tempted to go to like their open day just to find out what the fuck it's about.
it. Yeah, I mean,
Like the curious side in
then again,
me
if
is
I
like
was gonna say, I'm actually quite tempted as well.
not
but
to
I mean,
join,
if
but
I-
like just
Oh,
to
yeah.
find
No,
out what the
just to
fuck
see.
happens behind the closed
but
doors.
no, like, did I tell you about a mate from Uni of York who was saying about their fetish society because they have one as well?
Isn't there's
Oh, do
mental?
Uh,
Like, isn't there's
I've
just an
heard about
actual
that.
basket case?
I think I've heard
Apparently
of
they
the
don't-
society before.
apparently they don't do that much, but they did do a quite funny thing where they got their student union to buy them a rack, I think it was apparently, because it was seen as an essential piece of equipment that they needed.
Do you know, that to me seems like I want to see how far I can push this essential piece of equipment.
I don't know.
I kind of respect them for that if that's the case.
Lads.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
if you're not sticking it to the man, what are you doing?
I finished filling in one of those political compass things just for the fun of it.
Oh god,
I've
go on.
gone even more fucking left.
Let's have a look. How? Oh my
Yes,
fucking
comrade.
god!
It's weird. I usually tend to hover around the center of authoritarian libertarian.
Just a minute. Let's just go to Discord chat. This is where he is right now.
It's weird.
You are
Usually-
almost like actually like the anti-Hitler.
Usually my social tends to hover more around the middle ground.
Because Hitler was authoritarian
Yeah, I think a
left,
lot.
like extreme authoritarian left, and you're extreme extreme liberal left.
Yeah, which is weird because I do tend to alternate between authoritarian and libertarian on some things, but apparently this time it's marked me as super libertarian. So let's go for it.
Yeah, it's because you're libertarian. It's like, oh, actually, no, yeah.
Yeah,
Your
I mean,
economic
I'm-
left or right upsets me a little bit.
I mean, like, I'm like super down for legislating the hell out of companies and making it so they can't do shit. So I'm not sure why I got so libertarian, as opposed to all the social stuff, like, But yeah,
The freer the people, the freer the nation, or whatever.
yeah,
From each according to his ability, to each according to his need.
Yeah, pretty sound.
What are we talking about, Buffield? Oh, university, yeah. So what societies
Yeah.
are you two planning on joining?
I'll be joining my classic one of the assassins. I'll probably, I'm still going to join
Yeah.
tabletop because, like,
I'm
'Cause
just
it's
in
'cause of the
tabletop games
people.
at the moment.
Hmm.
To be honest, I don't want to try
why
and
are you
join any more
joining
until I know what I'm
LGS?
doing as far as like.
you say, join assassin.
I might join LGS just because Josh is running it, and they look like they've got some decent stuff running
I
this
want
year.
to see what he
Yeah,
does
no,
to
like-
LGS.
I mean, like,
I've
Well,
I
after that
don't know.
aggressive election cycle.
isn't he still looking for people to join?
I'm not sure, but basically he got everyone in tabletop to join it just to vote him into being in power.
Yeah, I know. I was already joined because
Ah.
I joined at the start of last year, and then realised that the society sort of was kind of shit.
I kind of love what he did though. It's like that's great, but apparently he's saved the society for it. So, yay, corruption, good.
Yeah, we have corruptioned our way into power. I mean, to be fair, it's less corruption, more the fact that nobody who's actually a member of LGS could be bothered to vote or register for the election.
Wasn't it something like Connie or someone was up for like re-election or something?
Oh,
and, like
God
it just
damn it.
pissed everyone off.
I don't, like, I don't
even think there was anyone else competing for president.
No,
Huh.
I think Jack was. I think he was going for re-election.
Okay.
'Cause he's
I don't know.
not
I
happy
didn't
about it.
join the society, so I don't actually have a clue what
Yeah.
what these people are,
Yeah,
who
it
they are, or whatever.
It,
So
it
like,
was like the peak of elections was like people realizing that nobody had signed up for LGS, so we could just fucking take it.
I think Jack was going for re-election, and he's really salty about about being beaten.
I would think I would be too if like someone just bought out. Essentially, they paid to win the election.
Well, we didn't pay though, because I don't think you could register. You could join the society and still get the vote, could you?
Yeah.
I think it was just enough of us in tabletop.
no, I know
that
it
No,
we
no,
was.
that's
made
how he
for
did it. He
LGS.
got people to join.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I thought he was just banking on the people in tabletop that were also LGS members, because there was a lot of crossover.
There was a lot of
Members
crossover
didn't
beforehand,
cover.
yeah, but like I think that would have just been like just enough. I think he wanted to guarantee. Like, I hope he does well with it now, like, because that society was in a state and a half. Like, that society was so bad it had been fractured 3 different times.
To be fair, they weren't as bad as esports, and that's got to be said.
And esports were apparently originally part of them.
Oh yeah, no. The reason we have esports is because like
So LGS used to be like one of the big. LGS used to be the size of tabletop.
Oh yeah, and then
They then
like,
split into esports and LGS. Then LGS kind of got, even more dicked over. And then they split into esports, LGS, and Mario Kart. There's a Mario Kart society.
Yeah.
The
there
Mario
is.
Kart Society is actually a port option this year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shit. Alright, okay, then fair enough.
oh yeah, what there's a Mario Kart Society now, isn't there?
So, look, what else is up for adoption? Bear with us, we're having some sort of technical difficulties. I'm just genuinely interested to find out what's actually up for adoption.
Adoption, please explain.
Think up for adoption.
Up for...
I'm a bad.
Oh wait, is it a society?
Yeah, societies are... Up for adoption society, Lincoln.
Find out. Find out at Freshers there, eh?
Well, you won't find out who's up for adoption at Freshers' Fair, 'cause you have to tell them. There we go, adoption. No, that's the Lincoln County Humane thing. No.
Oh wait. Oh, do you mean like what? I'm confused on what you mean now.
So if a society doesn't get enough members, or doesn't have an election and then has a re-election...
Oh, you mean what site is... I'm with you. Steampunk, Real Ale.
Steampunk, actually, to be fair, didn't they die like at the moment you stepped into office?
No, they only just got through my first year. They had 10 members and only 3 of them were actually active.
Right, I see. Sure.
And out of the 4-person council, only 2 of those 3 people were in the council.
Okay.
Then I took over, and then the former president...
Amnesty's up for adoption.
Really?
Where did you find this list? How have you found this?
Go to the SU site and then click your SU or whatever it is. It's Home Activities Adopt Society.
Like Amnesty aren't... actually,
Christian.
God, no, I think I know...
Christian's up for adoption.
Wait... So I want the Islamic Society to get them.
I'm having a look.
Because the Islamic... I just can't get over first year with it.
Lincoln Green Party's up for adoption.
Rip.
Sikh Society is. So is Social Policy Society.
Social Policy Society.
The UNICEF Society's up for it as well.
Yeah, I think I know what happened with the Amnesty one, because they started out as a society and then changed over to, I think it's like called a student-led project or something.
Medical Society's up for adoption. They had a pretty decent following last year.
Yeah, you say.
Yeah, Lincoln University. We don't have a med school yet, but we have a medical society.
Ooh, holy shit!
That's a lot of societies.
It's a big list, yeah.
I'm looking at the amount of sports as well.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Skydiving's up for adoption.
How did that get made into a sport? How are they funding that?
Skydiving were massive in our first year.
How did they fund that?
They didn't. It was like more like people would do it. Like I think it was a case of they did it as like charity events and stuff.
Fucking hell.
So it's more you joined it and like they did it as like together. So
Yeah.
it makes it easier and whatever. Baseball, that has surprised me.
I mean, it makes yeah.
Because everyone wants to go to rugby and get initiated.
Fucking hell.
Yay.
Why
Oh,
is...
shit,
I don't understand
only
the whole
rugby.
rugby initiation thing. I thought the idea of initiations were meant to be like against SU rules.
Oh yeah, the rugby. Don't you know the story?
Which one? Which story with the Rugby Society?
Oh,
The one where they got...
initiations.
Oh no, I thought you meant the one with the initiation where they end up putting a woman in hospital.
I mean, that's probably one of the things, but just a general initiation of the rugby society, like what it used to be of...
For
to go-
what
you
it's
have to
worth,
get,
before we
like,
get
a
sued the
bird.
fuck out of the SU, we don't know for certain anything that is about to go down. This is all hearsay.
What's about to go down? I wasn't
Continue, Ron.
Yeah, apparently, like the rugby society, they gave their members an ultimatum of either you suck off one of the council members, or you had to go like get laid by the ugliest bird you can find in Quack.
Oh shit, that was one of the things that led to Yik Yak being banned. I remember that. That was like
You know, I
see
think
there
that
being
was the
significant-
that
main
was that was like
thing.
Yik Yak. Like that was the
going-
week before Yik Yak got banned after the whole lecturer getting bullied on it, wasn't it?
I don't know, but I know that's probably that's the main story. That's suggested to be the reason why you are not allowed to have initiations in your societies. So,
Jesus
know?
Christ. I know there was one time where they during like a social they ran through the Odeon and broke a woman's, I think it was a pelvis or some shit.
fucking hell.
fuck do you?
Oh god, yeah, no, the women's rugby, yeah, because they
Was that women's rugby? I thought that was rugby union.
Oh, it might, I
One
thought it
of
was
them
women's
is really
rugby, where
nice.
they
One of
had
them
to,
are like ridiculously nice people to be around, and then the other one's just dickheads.
No, I
Which
think
one
it
is
was the
it?
women's rugby team? Like had it was one of the women's rugby teams, like societies where they had the thing. Obviously, like you say, they broke someone's pelvis. Cause I think they had to like stand and get tackled or like something,
No, as in they ran through the Odeon and broke an old woman's pelvis.
Oh fucking hell! What?
Yeah. The Lincolnite covered it.
Fucking hell.
Did you not see this?
I probably wasn't here for that, mate.
This is really old news. Actually, yeah, this was when I was in first year, I think. So.
Yeah. I was doing fucking A-levels and this was going on. Why would I know about this?
Oh, fucking hell. Apparently they're much better now, though. Apparently.
That's good to hear.
Apparently, so.
Oh, mate, let's take over Bacon Society. It's up for adoption.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah.
I legit
Go on,
might
Kyle.
adopt. I legit might adopt that.
Funny enough, so is the Food Society and
Oh,
the Cheese
that's
and Wine
that's.
Society.
Oh, that's.
I'm
Oh,
totally
I'm kind of like doer. Or like, you know, have I been on too many societies like
You've
before?
got the experience. You've got.
I
the
really
experience.
don't. That's the thing.
On paper, you do.
Also, what the fuck would you do with the food society? Oh, we
don't
we
fucking know.
share recipes every week or whatever.
It's just a fucking recipe.
Today, people, we're going to be learning how to make curry.
I mean, I'm not
Something
gonna lie, Ryan. If people can't make curry, there's something wrong, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
You
It was the
get to
first food that came into my head.
You get to rant.
Oh,
and
actually,
talk
that
about
could be
going
a good
down
idea.
the
I could do that and then use everyone's membership money to get myself a nice knife set.
No, Kyle, you're not going to embezzle the next.
Are you? Come on, you guys got enough shit for that when you were running tabletop.
That was first year. That was first. That wasn't. That was the original tabletop, not me. And I don't think that was embezzlement. Technically. Oh, you wouldn't? Did you hear what happened in first year?
No,
The society almost didn't exist.
what happened?
Yeah, they had to have like a radical rechange of the constitution and whatnot, like just to prove that it wasn't the same society.
Nice.
I think it was essentially they spent most of the society's money on buying dominoes for getting people to vote, which is apparently not okay.
Not okay.
Then
I
again,
think that's what
think
happened.
it's
I'm not
okay.
entirely sure. Apparently, there's some other shady shit as well, but like I don't know.
On the topic of like embezzlement, please tell me James passed on the suitcase because I know he was saying that he was just going to buy it for himself and use it.
Was he? No, he did pass it on as far as I'm aware.
Oh, good.
I think. I think he's with either Adam or with Ben. I'm not sure. Hey, Wakey, you know you've got to run for council next year, right?
Ugh, I know.
That's just how it works.
I'll do it
Is it-
eventually.
President of Wakefield, all right.
Oh, don't be president. Fuck that. Do what I did. Just be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, pseudo vice president. No
I'll-
offense,
I'll
Ryan.
I'll take a role that sounds nice on
I'm
paper.
gonna say,
but doesn't
excuse
require
me,
much
Kyle.
effort.
No offense. But if people were to say who was vice president, who would they say?
They probably go for me 'cause I made sure everyone knew that I was.
Oh, right. I see. Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, you got himself out there, you know.
Yeah. To be fair, we all
To be
made sure.
fair,
We
I did a lot of your jobs of like putting posts out on the Facebook page.
That's your job, actually, Ryan.
You were marketing, right?
No.
Oh, you were Trisha, weren't you?
No. My sole job.
You
wait,
were,
wait,
you were social sex, weren't you?
My sole job is. Wait, Adam, you. Yeah. That up. So my sole job was to make sure the members were okay,
Oh, you were. What is
And,
it,
like-
welfare?
organise events which no one wanted to have anyway. So
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that.
community coordinator.
yeah, I put the D&D coordinator to Ryan and wish I hadn't. That was a bad move.
Oh,
Look,
that
we
D&D
had
thing.
5 DMs.
Yeah, no, you did the best with the bad
Was
situation.
Was that actually how bad it was?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know what the
terrible.
numbers were. Oh my god.
For the love of God,
You
Adam,
can't attack me for that. We had.
do not
5
use my system. If Lee's system's still on the system, use his system. It's
Yeah,
less
Well, no, the
specific.
thing is, you handed me over from that.
I had to do my dissertation.
Yeah, no, you started it and handed me it over. It was already a bit. You hadn't followed your own like setup.
I had
Yeah, I
actually,
followed
Ryan.
your own
I had followed my own rules.
Oh, you hadn't.
I mean, you know,
And, like,
props for the
I
fact
put
that
a lot of
that
work into
matchmaking
getting that
service got
fixed.
me my group of friends at uni, so props for that. That being said, dear God, 5 DMs, that's horrible.
I know, 1 minute, I've just got a notification to
That's
Discord, so I'm
why-
just going to throw it on
that's why
Google.
We did like, how many was it? Like 2 or 3 like DM workshops.
Yeah, you guys did the workshops for it. You guys like put in the stuff to try and drum up people. It's just that, let's face it, the DG matchmaking is primarily people that have never played before, because people that have would have groups,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to start off DMing.
Um, I prefer DMing to playing. Lets me design worlds. I'm not a massive nerd at all. I'm actually a cool person, totes, obviously.
I rarely DM, mostly because I really don't trust myself to be good enough for it.
Oh, you don't need to be good enough, for fuck's
Which
sake.
is
Will
that's
people
slightly
start
awkward
messaging me
because
on Discord?
I'm the only person in my group to have not DM'd for at least something yet.
You should do it. It's fun.
I know, it's just I really struggle at getting all the planning sorted and not just like getting
Start off
distracted.
with, like-
halfway
No,
through.
no, Wakey, you don't
Start
plan.
off with
That's
a,
the thing. You
Yeah, no,
don't
you don't.
plan.
Just
I'm
start
really-
off
I'm
with
really
like
bad
one
at
of
keeping
the
shit
like
consistent and
something
being
like Mines of
there for it.
Fendelver or a one
Yeah,
shot.
do a preset.
Yeah,
Actually, Kyle,
I
send your
know I
one
need
shot
at
to
some
him.
point.
What, the one that takes 2 seconds to finish? I think it's on the,
Yeah, but-
I don't think it was, I've got it on my computer. I think it's on the tabletop's computer.
Look,
somewhere.
mate,
You
no
know,
actual
no, you know
one
which one I mean. That story thing.
Yeah, the story, the bedtime story one.
That's
Yeah,
one.
that was pretty good.
Alright, fine. I've got Elliot bugging me to try and run something since he hasn't played much.
No,
This is,
seriously, do
Okay, go.
So I might use that.
Go,
as my...
don't DM for Elliot.
yeah, don't.
It's
We
fine.
all need to come around to my
Oh,
house at some
oh,
point. And we
it's
need to play.
fine.
We need to play XCOM D&D,
Yeah.
where just like everyone dies all the time.
XCOM D&D.
It's fucking brutal. You just lose people left, right, and center. It's
So
great.
what you mean is it's like sort of like First Dead.
Yeah, basically, actually, yeah.
So basically you get rid of
And
death
what you
saves.
do, right, is because you use your own monster manual, no one can metagame.
Oh yeah. You
So
never use them,
genuinely, I have had expert players go, "What the fuck? How can he do that?" It's like, oh, modifier to it, yeah, just the thing that it has. It's like,
Yeah, you never use stuff raw because there's always gonna be
People
people
metagame.
Metagame
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So it's like, it just hit me. It's like, I'm wearing full plate. This is, I'm supposed to be like level 2. What the fuck? It's like, yeah, it just can. It's a heroic action. It's like, it's meant to just be a swarm enemy. It's like, yeah, it's got a heroic action. Sorry.
Oh man.
So next weekend we're on Carl's then.
You are? But no, you need to like all come around to mine at some point and play some D&D, some like proper high maintenance, definitely gonna die, everyone's gonna rip their hair out D&D.
Honestly, part of the reason that I'm not trying to join a bunch of societies this year is because I know that my D&D group is still gonna be doing like 3 sessions a week, so
Okay, now.
it got kind of excessive last year. It was to the point last
No,
year
you need to
where-
do about 1 a week, because if you do any more than 1 a week, you're all gonna feel burnt out and you're not gonna get the best out of the story.
It's fine because
You want to
no,
treat
we're
D&D like your
No.
like your,
we're
you know when
doing-
you watch a TV show, you want to treat it
No,
like
no,
that. You
we're-
want to be like
we're
wanting
doing
more.
We're doing 1 a week per campaign.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We have a whole bunch of ongoing campaigns or
Play
mini
one
short
campaign at a
campaigns
Play one
ongoing.
campaign. Well, you can play 2 just with different like people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have what is it? Last year, the main ones we had going were our main game, and then on alternating weeks we had a Starfinder game and a Curse of Strahd game. So we were trying to like diversify it up and everything with different DMs.
See,
and
we
all
went
that.
into Curse of Strahd at level 18
Jesus Christ.
with divine
was a-
powers. That was fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say like
I think we killed
assumed-
Strahd in 2 turns.
I was gonna say I assumed re-leveled, or did they just throw you into Book Strahd?
As in, not like, got him to go away and like hide for a bit. We killed him in 2 turns, like killed. Yeah, our characters were a bit powerful. I mean, my character turned into fucking Daredevil in the end because it's like it just
I
didn't
mean,
matter.
shit, man. Late game stuff, like, there's a reason that no one really plays the 15 to 20
If you're
range, and
watching the
that's 'cause
stream, whoever's messaging me on Discord, would you please stop messaging me on Discord? Thank you.
Who's Discord, man?
I can't say who's messaging Discord because he's not a mod on the server or any of you. So,
Because there's no one messaging on the channel. So it
there's
must be
people messaging me
personal.
personally. First of all, who the fuck messages personally on Discord?
Yeah, who's on Discord. The hell?
Ah, Jesus. The best part about it is he's got access to every room that we're in right now. So he could just go into like podcast text and just type in the shit on
so
there.
it's- okay, one of the people that's allowed for that.
Yeah,
That
which
narrows
means
it
you
down
know
a bit.
who it is.
Yeah, there's only one of them online.
Yeah.
Just get in here and talk if you want to talk.
I know,
Fucking-
right? What I was
Yeah.
saying, societies. I might adopt food society just because like I quite like food and they make me want to cook more. Though what I don't like about food is when people tell you that you're cooking wrong, because that's not how they cook. For me, it's not about the meal; it's about the ingredients in the meal. Like, I have more respect for ingredients than I do for a meal. My logic is you can just season a meal and it'll taste amazingly. It doesn't matter, right? Like a curry, it's one of them things that is like, well, this tastes a bit crap. Throw more paprika in. Like, it's a legitimate solution I came up with.
Just throw some paprika on it, it'll be fine.
Oh, that's how I fixed the curry that you had. It might be a bit spicy for you, you know. Your white ass.
Hey, I'm just not used to curries, you know. I'm not used to.
Had you legitimately not had a curry before then?
No,
Jesus.
I am a very strange individual.
No shit. I'll tell you what, next time I make a paneer curry or something, just like, so it's cheesy and it's nicey. Paneer curry is to die for.
Oh. Right, should have an anticipation.
Yeah, it should. To go for sagaloo paneer or some shit, like, there's fucking, sorry, aloo sag paneer, I think is how you say it.
Those are words. That mean
Well,
different
sag
things.
means spinach, aloo means potato, and paneer is cheese. Or a type of cheese. Yeah, I know Indian, right? Toast, yeah. But yeah, no, I'll get pissed off at people who are like, oh, you don't cook like that. How dare you do that? It's disrespectful to the dish. No. Because I know I can cook, right? Not to toot my own horn, I'm pretty good, alright?
Yeah.
Hey,
Or-
Kyle.
At least
you
I
know
am if
what
I'm
you
cooking
say
myself.
now, don't you?
What?
Something you made that bread.
Yeah, sure. Although you can check my Instagram, right? And peeps like my bread now. Traded a loaf of bread for a blender, mate, so. To which one went, it's a bit salty, and it's like, you just put salted butter on it, what did you expect?
You didn't give her the same bread, did you?
No, I gave her a nice loaf of bread. It was like, it's a bit salty. It's like, you just got your knife and stabbed a bit of bread on it, there's a bit of bread on your butter there. Like, what did you expect? But well nice bread.
Oh, nice.
Well nice. I want to make some cobs, that's the thing. I'm not very good at making cobs. I'm good at making loaves, because loaves are pretty easy, right? Especially paprika. It's really hard to get the ratios right. Like, you're going to have a nice loaf of bread however it goes, right? But it's getting the consistency right. It's quite awkward to get the consistency right, to get it to rise properly and whatnot. Because paprika just sort of takes away all the liquid. So. And it's extremely red. It's just amazing. Make paprika bread. Just do it. I might make some flatbread or some shit. I keep meaning to try making flat. Every time I've tried to make flatbread, it's just failed because I've not made it with yeast. And this is where some hardcore purists are going to tell me that you don't make it with yeast. It's like... But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'd hate about the food society. And I wouldn't know how to market it either. I wouldn't know how to what to do with it. Because I'd want to turn it into like a sort of meet up with your food kind of thing, but I know for a fact that would be completely against all health and safety and health and hygiene laws. But I don't know. You guys, you should totally help me. Wakey, you've not commanded a society yet. You're my treasurer. In at the deep end. You only need three people to run a society.
I mean, like, that's how
Yeah.
that's how it works out.
President, vice president, and treasurer.
Every other role is optional. There's only certain societies that need more. Like, some sports societies need, like, safety advisors and shit, I think.
I mean, this is just how the world works, right? You know, you don't get in by having qualifications. You get in because somebody knows you and goes, "Hey, do you want a free job?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't, but it's the case. It's like, you know. That's why LinkedIn's amazing. Well, it is. Have you got LinkedIn yet, Wakey?
Of course I don't plan ahead at all.
Oh my fucking god, make a LinkedIn now. Like now, while we're on the phone now.
Now.
Ryan, have you got
in the
LinkedIn?
morning now.
Yeah, now.
No, why would I have LinkedIn?
What do you mean, why would you have a LinkedIn?
Politics.
Do I
It's
look
so,
like the kind of-
politics is useful to have a LinkedIn account.
Do I look like the kind of motherfucker that has any form of plan for my fucking...
Well, I should hope you have, because you've only got 2 years left.
Shit, fam, I still don't know what I'm doing in life right now, let alone what I'm planning to do.
In fact,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
you're
discount
fine.
this year, it's only a year.
Listen, man, literally everything I have done in the last 5 years has been, sure, that sounds good.
Does anyone know where I can get sock suspenders? My socks keep falling down. God, that sounded middle class, didn't it?
That sounded like, I don't even know what that sounded like, honestly. Impressive.
No, they're a thing. No, you can get them. They're a thing. I
They
saw
shouldn't be.
I saw Rimmer have them on Red Dwarf. Ah, Jesus. No, I think the idea for them was you wear them if you're going biking with long socks. Because then your socks don't get caught up in the bike. Or something.
How the okay, yeah, fair.
Like, if it's fall down and it's clumped, it gets caught in the chain, just yanks off and just you die. That's how biking works,
Makes
boys.
sense. I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Societies. We need to join something other than tabletop. I mean, I'm joining free speech if it's still available, because I enjoyed that.
Assassins is a thing.
I'm not joining Assassins, Ryan, because I kind of feel like I'm a bit old for that shit. No offense.
Hey, it's the right laugh.
You go around shooting people with Nerf darts.
Oh, guys are a right laugh. Like, to be fair, you don't actually do that much of the assassin game. It's more of, like, the people.
Yeah, my point. I'm fine. It's not, I don't want to shoot people with Nerf darts. I mean, I sound so elitist, don't I?
Yeah, only slightly.
And slightly, of course.
Only as much as you usually do.
Wow, thanks, you dickhead.
Hey, that could mean you don't sound it at all.
I mean, I know for a fact that sounded elitist, so. Yeah, I mean, if you're at University of Lincoln this year, first of all, congrats. Second of all, for fuck's sake, you just lost. Just, goodbye first-rate education. Hello, University of Lincoln. Did I tell you they still use that as like an advertisement occasionally?
So they use what as an advertisement?
You know the In-Betweeners line?
No,
Have you not watched the In-Betweeners?
barely. At all.
Well, Guildford, is it Guildford or Guildford? Yeah, he gets Will into the office and goes, "Ooh, you better do this, because if you don't, bye-bye first-rate education. Ooh, hello University of Lincoln."
Hey.
And it's like, I've seen them like tweet that a few times, and it's like, quite funny. Because Lincoln's legitimately an amazing university now. Like, humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
But no, good luck to everyone, because people will be joining. In fact, you know what? Let's end this episode now with like a very quick sort of.
I've only been going for like
this
what,
is
3
weirdly
hours?
trailed off towards the
I
end.
know, right? So let's keep on track. So people would no doubt have turned out after about 2 hours, because that's about the time everything finished. What advice have you got for people for university? This is University Advice Part 3.
Oh boy.
He finally got there. Go on, what do you give advice?
It's fine. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
Wow. Ryan.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Don't starve.
Remember, you're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's university.
What was that, Adam?
So that's the best description of university.
Oh, I suppose invest in an alarm clock. You'll probably start to need it.
Yeah, just like not one, just multiple alarm clocks. Jeez, I remember the first night I stayed at university. Like, went to a party, because obviously.
Sounds right.
Then it was like Freshers' Fair the day after.
Oof.
So I was like, okay, shit, Freshers' Fair starts at like 8 o'clock. I was like, oh shit, do I have to get there for 8 o'clock? Like, do I have to like go with my enrollment card?
Rip.
So I got up at 8 o'clock. Much to my
Oh.
housemates' annoyance, my flatmates' annoyance. It was like, so bear in mind, I didn't get in, like, I didn't sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Fucking mong.
Back up at 8 o'clock.
You mong.
And now, like, going in at 6 o'clock has just become like a casual thing I do now. It's like standard. I feel like my liver's just gonna give out. There you go. Make sure you've invested in a second liver is my advice. Even if you're not drinking, like, someone's gonna want yours.
I think that's more regional advice than anything else there.
You think that's more what?
Regional advice on the people wanting your liver.
Yeah. Yeah, you might get some nice friends. Some people that don't make you drink until 6 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know, join a D&D matchmaking service. You'll be forced to find friends.
Quick, Adam, you need to trademark the D&D matchmaking service. Still think you should sell it to Match.com. It's pretty good. I mean, I know I made it, and I know I'm supposed to say that, like, but yeah, it's pretty
5
good.
DMs.
We got a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had like.
We actually did really
we
well for
had
the 5
80
DMs.
people.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
no, we
certain I'm the
got
only
more
person
eventually, but
who's
bear in mind we had about, over 80 players.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one of my D&D group that's rejoining tabletop, and that's because I do the card games as well.
I love how at the end of it, it's like, I can't remember who it was, but Elliot was like, oh, people have been saying they want to start a D&D society. And I was like, go for it. Do it.
Who's been saying that?
Apparently it was a thing that was going around during the election cycle.
Right.
But
Probably
from-
started
one of
by
my
Elliot,
mates
Yeah.
I bet.
went about it.
Because
And
he was
then
the only one that
didn't
really
say
wanted to
anymore.
raise. Say, Elliot seems to be the only one trying to make an argument about
I think the
the.
thing Elliot's missing there is that
thing.
the fact there isn't
Yes,
a D&D
and,
society
I
is
had
the
to. I've
only
told
reason
him.
we have enough funding to buy his goddamn board games.
Yeah, I mean, I had to tell him at least 3 times that the reason why the matchmaking was so slow is because we didn't have enough DMs. We had nowhere near enough. But,
Then we're
oh
looking
no,
at
Ryan,
the
you
ones,
were
yeah.
like, I can't vote for you, Ryan, because there wasn't enough DMs.
To be fair, Ryan, you are the person who didn't realise that there was a wargaming wargaming section to the society.
Your
on
mic
your...
just cut out.
You
I
are the
mean,
person
to
who
be
didn't
fair-
realise we did wargaming at tabletop when you ran for election.
No, I did realise it.
Yeah, but come on, man. Wargaming's like 2 people. It's fine.
No, wargaming was massive. That was the thing. Wargaming was like one of the
Yeah.
biggest things. Wargaming was bigger than free play.
No, I did know it, but the thing I was trying to say was that wargaming seemed to be its own thing.
Yeah,
wanted to
but
get like
you
more involvement.
we'd have a
know.
night for wargaming.
No, I didn't say that.
You did.
I can't remember what my old manifesto said.
Check your manifesto, right? It says we'll have a night for wargaming.
Don't think I've got it anymore. But no, I did not say we'll have a night for wargaming because I knew we did have one, like legit. Anyway, I still got elected, even if like
Yeah.
You ran unopposed. Oh no, you
Exactly.
didn't. You didn't actually. You ran against Josh, who was
No.
make tabletop great again.
not
Exactly.
for vice president. Remember, Josh ran for
No, Josh ran afterwards. Josh ran for vice president at the start, but he ran on memes alone. It was like so he ran.
No, you're thinking of this year, but with
No, he ran for vice president last year. I voted for him.
no, I was unopposed. I'm sure.
In fact, I voted him, Ron, you. Because I knew for a fact you'd get in. But no, I still think he should have changed. I still think he should have put a comma in, so it should have been make tabletop great, comma again.
Uh-huh.
What? I mean, tabletop were pretty great in second year.
Pretty great.
Pretty great. I guarantee you there was no problem. I guarantee. But yeah, so should we end this here before we go random?
Yeah,
lines
we
into-
probably should.
We veered
Yeah.
off topic for the
Oh
last
shit!
hour,
I've just
but-
realised
Wait,
I wasn't recording. Oh well, thank God we've gone live, eh?
It's what the live. It's what the live's for.
So guys, say goodbye.
So,
Bye.
Why did I fucking wave then?
You mom, you absolute mom.
And on that, goodbye everybody.